right, we're live.
Hey, let's go, man.
Hey,
Start off right.
yeah. Hey, I appreciate you. This is our premiere for the games within the game.
Yes, sir.
Today we're launching the Mayor of Baseball with Tyrone Osborne, and
Absolutely.
this is the man behind the scenes making it all happen. Appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless. God bless.
All right,
Yeshua saves.
this is to the first podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Yes, sir. Hola podcast. Hola game within the game. Yes. What's up? Hola, my YouTube channel. Who's coming to look at me? I love you, Uncanny. I love you, Gonzo. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to Daniel. Yeah, little Daniel, young Daniel, Devin, David. I told y'all I was gonna do this. It took me like 2 years to do it, but I did it.
It's all good. We're here, baby.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're here.
Yes, we are. All right. So first let's talk about the Super Bowl. Well, I guess we'll talk about me first. I guess I'll go first. That'd be pretty wild.
Give us a good introduction of.
All right. So this is ZAHAZ, as some people call me. Adam, Wendell, ZAHAZ, all good. ZAHAZ, just to begin, the name means all within self. I came up with this name. I was meditating and praying for my first full day. I tried to do it for a whole day once. Didn't get very far, probably like 3 hours in, just was like, dude, it's very.
You seem like you have a short attention span too.
No.
So for you to be still and
Yeah.
that's a tall task.
It used to be
for
bad.
Adam.
Yeah, it used to be bad. I have still ADHD. I just learned to control it a lot better, like know how to put my energy in certain directions. Because that's all ADHD is abundance of energy. So channeling it or directing it, it was just super like stressful. But I do it very frequently, a lot better now than I've ever done it. So, but yeah, I sat there for 3 hours. I needed a name, so I just meditated. I was just also meditating, praying on the word. And as I was meditating, praying on the word, it just came to me, ZAHAZ, for some reason. I just rocked with it. Now, I didn't have a reason for it for a while. And then there was another day I was praying and meditating that I realized what it meant. I didn't realize until like last year that it was the same forwards and backwards. Did not know that it was the same. It blew my mind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was weird. Like I see my name every day. Don't think about it. It's so weird to me. So basically what it means is Yahweh, the H is the only repeating letter in Yahweh, and the H in my name is there. Like it's in the middle of it. So it's like basically a signal to God that God's in the middle of everything, handling it. And AZ, my name used to be Believe in AZ. I came up with it when I was on deployment. And the reason is A to Z. That's the whole alphabet. So it's like the belief in everything's going to work out, like all the alphabet, everything. Belief in that everything is within you. Like you can't get happiness or joy without looking in yourself and getting it yourself. So that's where I came up with the name. That's where it's been ever since. People mess it up all the time. ZAHAZ. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care how you pronounce it, man. It doesn't matter. It's so petty. So that's where that name came from. I started doing YouTube in 2010, or creating content. I don't like just saying YouTube because I don't just do YouTube, but created content in 2010. I watched the Optic Hex video. For those who don't know who Optic Hex is, you probably don't either. Optic Hex is a gamer, Call of Duty gamer predominantly, but now he's kind of a content creator doing podcasts and stuff like we're doing right now. And Optic Hex is one of those guys, man, who just set the paradigm. He changed just almost everything. Not just him, but his team Optic, which is back now. So shout out to the Green Wall Boys if anybody ever sees it. But I ended up watching his sniping. It was called Sniping on Storm. It was the best thing I've ever seen. He was playing Call of Duty. He was sniping. Now, at the time, sniping against people who had regular guns, like submachine guns, ARs in the game, was super hard. But he was making it look effortless. I mean, he was just winning free-for-alls, just winning games. And he was talking like about just giving us what he was doing during the game. We're just talking about something. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, wow, people play video games and they upload to YouTube and they talk. And ever since that day, I've been wanting to do it. And I got off to a rough start. It wasn't really the best content. Maybe we'll have to show a video. I might have to show you a video of my old stuff, man. It was rough, man. It was rough. So I started off doing that. I did it all the way up until 2015, until I joined the military. And then I was trying to find my purpose. Didn't know if I wanted to do that. Didn't know if I wanted to play sports or not after high school. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Just kind of figured it out. Joined the military like my family before me. When I was in the military on deployment, I kind of got like a revelation, I guess you could call it, from God that, somebody in the gaming community needed to bring the light, bring the gospel to gaming and mix it. Mm-hmm. And so I've been doing it ever since. That's what my YouTube channel is about, bringing the gospel to games. So, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and obviously you're going to bring that energy to games within the game. And and I think that's it's well needed because I'm really chill.
Yeah.
And to splash a little bit of Adam, I think you'll make it just right.
Oh man, I'm all high energy. Everybody knows, man. You watch my Twitch, you watch the YouTube, it's all high energy, and it's not high energy to the point where it's like my friends say a lot. It's a little too much for some people, and that's okay. I'm not meant for everybody, and not gonna be for everybody, but it's a positive environment. That's really what it's about. It's about keeping that level of that's G Fuel. That's why I drink the G Fuel. Shout out to G Fuel. You know what I'm saying? But I love it. I love being engaged because once I'm not engaged, I tend to sink into depression really, really quickly.
Oh, okay.
And I have to be engaged. And it's not just engaging as doing something, but be engaged with the process of life, the whole process. Staying positive, staying some people. I was watching. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl, but I was watching Tom Brady, Gronk, AB. Talk about, just how joyful they are. And I was like, I want to capture that joy that they have, and I want to live like that every day.
That's good.
I don't want it to be a fleeting moment. I don't want to feel like, oh, today, I'm not in a good mood, or today I want to live like I won the Super Bowl every day. Because I did. I woke up today. That's more than winning the Super Bowl. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, most people need that type of directions and mentality to wake up every day. I'm trying to educate myself on mental illness and things like that because through family members I've seen them suffer and struggle, and some people that don't have it don't understand it. So anyways, that's good that you're able to bring that to the table, and maybe somebody can pick up on it. And
oh, for sure. It's not even somebody. It's what is the word I'm looking for? When you catch something, what is it? You know what I'm talking about? Where you spread contagious. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, it's extremely contagious. I've noticed just in having a YouTube channel, just in general, the amount of comments that I get, and people don't even see the Discord. Sometimes I upload them to either Snapchat or some other social media and let people see what exactly it is that I'm getting. But I'm getting incredible messages every day about God. You have shown me God, or I just love watching your channel. And from the hiatus, I took a 2-week hiatus after Christmas, around Christmas time, and just the amount of people who checking on me and seeing how it goes, it's contagious. And then going from not only that, but for my in real life friends, people I hang out with every day. My boy Levi says it all the time. He's like, man, like, I just love hanging out with you. Or Shane, just the fact that being there and being so happy just makes the times better. Not only just me, but just putting that energy out that, we're going to have a good time no matter what. And that's something my inner circle definitely, we definitely hit almost every time, other than a few, bumps and bruises, which we talked about, Yeah. But, those good times and that energy, people pick up on that because they're looking for something. Again, some people just don't have or understand religion. Or understand not just religion, but God, Yahweh. They don't understand exactly what he's about. They just see what they see on TV, or they've seen, bad influences for it. They don't understand that this is a high energy God that wants you to be joyful at every moment possible. He wants you to experience that fullness of life as much as possible. There's no hindering that. It's just, humans, we tend to hinder everything that he does, being natural, as we talked about multiple times.
Yeah, human beings are tricky.
We all are, man.
And I don't like them.
I don't like myself sometimes, man. It's okay, man. Sometimes
it's all
I'm like,
good.
man, what?
Human beings are okay.
Yeah, man.
They're okay. They're all right.
And there's a something about humans, just the life. I see God. It's so crazy how I was reading a book. It was called The Power. I want to say The Power of the Mind. No, I can't remember. I'll have to reference it later if I can remember. But this book, and I was reading Inner Engineering by Sadhguru, and he talked about how you can see God in everything. You get to a point where you see God in everything. I couldn't comprehend that at 19. I was like, man, I don't understand how do you see God?
Time out. How old are you now?
I'm 23. About to be 24 on the 24th.
Okay.
Yeah, what's today? The 8th?
I mean, and there's still more vision to explore and
absolutely.
see. So because you're still a young buck.
Oh, absolutely. I have nothing. I have learned nothing.
But I'm learning from you, and you're young. So
absolutely.
As you talk, I'm like, okay, that's some good stuff.
I wonder what happened when I'm like 40 something. I'm talking to somebody my age. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild.
That'll be good. No, it'll be good. and you'll think of me, be like, huh.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. Life's a journey. But yeah, I read Inner Engineering, and that was my most complex thing was being grateful. like it's hard to be grateful when you're on deployment, you know, in a combat zone, you know, in 100 and almost 70 degrees every day with jets going, you know, it's already hot enough in the Middle East, you know, waking up to 120, 30 degree days, then having jets blast you. There's not really much you want to be grateful for, but the process of me even trying to be grateful then makes me a lot more grateful now. Because if I can be grateful then, how can I not be grateful now? You know what I mean? So being grateful, waking up grateful is like an extreme part of my day, and that sets the tone. Like the first thing I do, I take 15 minutes out of my day, just wake up in the bed, sit in the bed, just get grateful for everything. My nieces, you know, my sister, my mother, you guys. Like how many times I'm thankful. Like I'm like, yo, I get to work on a podcast today. You know, that stuff really makes me. Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. And you know, taking that process every day. You know, looking at my computer, looking at the laptop, looking at the games, looking at where I came from, how I started. You know, noticing that when I first started doing YouTube, I had this laptop that was worse than yours. And I was crashing it. Like, it would crash every day.
Are you taking a shot at my laptop?
Your laptop's trash. Your laptop's absolute garbage. It's okay, though. We work with it. But, yeah, man, just little things like that just matter. So that's basically the gist of what I'm about. You know, it's not perfect. You know, I always, you know, I got short temper sometimes. I rage. I mean, I think everybody who watches my YouTube channel, look at Sandy. I love Sandy. Look at it, Sandy. If for those of you who can't see the dog, man. Like I said, we're gonna get a dog camera for Sandy. I promise we got you.
Yeah, we need to.
Sandy. This is the best dog I've ever.
Sandy's a golden retriever.
Yeah, she's absolutely wonderful.
She's great.
Yes, absolutely, man. But yeah, we had back to what I was saying. Just in general, like the high energy and stuff like that. It comes at a cost sometimes, and that's what I figured out when I was really young, like from 18 to about say 21. Just having that abundance of energy, and then having, you know, to the point where it was like, trying to learn it, it became a lot really, really quickly. And I knew off the rip it was going to be a process, and it's still a process. It's nowhere near perfected. I don't think it'll ever be perfected at any point. You know what I mean? But I had to know that somebody has to be my limit. In anything, right? Like I got into a big, you know, you ever heard about the law of attraction? You ever heard those stories or heard about that process?
No.
All right. So the law of attraction for the viewer, the law of attraction is simply whatever you think about, you attract. Whatever your energy is set to, your paradigm is set to, you attract. So let's say you want to be successful. If you focus on being successful, it's pretty obvious that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve. Anybody would agree with that. At a time, it used to be where humans could achieve anything. God had no limits on what humans would do, which is why the Tower of Babel, I don't know are you familiar with that story? The Tower of Babel?
No.
Well, humans got together right after the flood, and they got to building a tower, and it wasn't necessarily a tower to reach God. That's kind of a misconception. It was a portal to basically reach heaven, because heaven's just another dimension away. But, you know, God was like, no, we're not going to do this. And, you know, another little tricky thing for people. God says we. God's talking to somebody when he's saying it, because the prophets are saying we when they write it, and it's because there's a Trinity. God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, they talk to each other. You know, it's really, really
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not the law of three. I like that. It's, you know, but they got together. So God put a restriction on what humans can do after that, because he was like, okay, you guys want to get together, you want to start doing this stuff. I'm put a restriction. You're not going to build stuff to heaven, because now you're just getting ahead of yourself. You're getting egotistical, right? So there is a limit on what people can do, but it's really, really high. Like God still allows humans to do a lot of what they do. You know, you can achieve almost anything you put your mind to, you know, as long as it's conceivable. And even if it's not conceivable, you usually can achieve it, you know?
Yeah.
But, so I got super into that, where I started manifesting things really quickly, where I was like, yo, if I just put my energy and I just put my desires into this, I can do it. So I had a few YouTube channels that just skyrocketed because of that. Like I was just super waking up every day like, yo, I'm gonna make the best video, I'm gonna do this. And my channels were blowing up, like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of people were coming to these channels. You know, I just wasn't showing my face on them. I was just kind of just talking. And I just realized, you know, really quickly that it was like, there's no limit to what I can do. And that became a super problem for me, because as success started rolling in quickly, greed started rolling in, and bad decisions started rolling in really quickly. And then doubt started rolling in, because I was like, yo, if I'm getting all of this and I'm doing all of this and I'm just this powerful, what is my purpose of even being? Why am I even here? Why am I not God? You know, why am I not a God? Exactly. This is the same thing that the first Adam, which I should have learned because I'm named Adam, fell for.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I started believing Psalms 82:6. Man, I had an old friend, he really got me into that. He was like, you are a god. He really pressed that. The same thing that made Adam sin, I was falling for. The exact same thing. Really, really, kind of a parallel paradigm going on there. But I fell for that, and I got into that point. But I started getting extremely depressed because I was like, there's no way I can be a god in a human flesh. You know what I mean? Like this doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And then that's when I really got into Jesus and Yeshua, because I realized there's already been a God in human flesh, and I will become like him. We will be with him, like him, one and the same. And that's when I got pulled out of the depression. I got pulled out of my loop. And I knew from that day forth, and I was super into like other gods, like believing like Allah and other gods were like God, like everybody can get to heaven in that sense, being a Christian from birth and then now changing and then coming back. It's a journey.
All right. Well, I plan on having a religion podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
great.
Maybe you should join.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe you should join. We're gonna, and it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good.
Oh yeah, anything with you, you know what I mean? We're gonna be good.
It'll be good because I'm gonna have people that have tried different things.
Yeah,
and it's good to capture their experience of one questioning, one seeing the light, and coming back.
Yeah,
and as well as other people. I'm gonna have Chad Dennis come on board as well. He was really connected to God through college. He was one of my college teammates at UT.
Were y'all playing baseball?
Wrestling. I wrestled in college.
Oh, I thought you played baseball.
I wish I did. I love baseball. That's my first love. But no, but wrestling was the one that pulled me in.
Okay, I really have been fond lately of. I've always been a big fighter. Like growing up with a lot of brothers. Being the oldest one for the majority of my life, other than some adopted brothers and stepbrothers. But I was really into wrestling, and I always hung out with older people. It's always been something that I've done. But my new group, my friends that I hang out with right now, we're big wrestlers. We're always fighting. Like me and my friend Levi, we're always wrestling.
It's a beautiful sport.
Oh, I love it.
It's a beautiful sport.
You really, it's something about testing each other that's just like.
Well, it's that. You have the mental game, the physical game, and the finesse game.
Oh yeah, the finesse. I like that word. I like finesse. A lot of people don't know what that means.
It's skillful, slickness.
Yeah.
You're the whole bobbing and weaving thing. There's some of that in wrestling. You got set up.
It's a lovely.
Because at a high level, you're not gonna just take a shot. Or for the people that don't know wrestling, you're not gonna be able to attack without setting the attack up with.
I love that. It's a game within a game right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, wrestling, man. When you watch wrestling, you see a lot of hand fighting. They're setting something up. They're the hand fighting, the footwork, like boxing, that they're stepping. Somebody's gonna step into a punch.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna throw a punch, right?
You ever seen?
But you're gonna step into a punch.
Have you ever seen Triple G? We watched the fight. Remember when I was super hyping it up? It was around the time Daniel turned 21.
Oh, hold on. You're talking about the party here at my house?
Yeah, well, we were watching a fight after that. It was it was like a month after that.
Okay.
We watched a Triple G and Canelo fight.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed. I'm putting it out in the fight, but I didn't recognize it until just now. Triple G hit Canelo, Canelo hit Triple G with one of the meanest, like he stepped, GGG moved his body, and Canelo hit him with the mean one, but Triple G just ate it. Like I'm talking ate it, and just looked at him. And Canelo, you just see it on his body. He was just like, I'm not knocking him out. And you said that like how they were play finding and stepping. That's the first thing that came to mind. You know what I mean? Just the most. I've never seen a man eat a punch harder than Triple G ate Canelo.
And that does something to Canelo. That does something to Canelo.
Oh yeah, Canelo was absolutely just like made Canelo a much better fighter after that though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's doing some good things now.
Oh, he's a beast. Oh, he's absolutely a beast. The only person who's gonna beat him is Triple G. Nobody else is probably gonna beat him. I won't say that, but he's definitely. He needs to fight Triple G again, but that's a different ballgame.
Well, hang on. Since we're on that topic, we're on the boxing topic, and we live really close to Nashville. There's that one fighter. Is it Caleb Plank?
No,
Plant. Caleb. He's out of Ashland City.
Never heard of him.
Hey man,
I don't pay attention. I'm a big fighter, but I'm a big top fighter. Like I just like watching the top.
I believe he's from Ashland City, if I'm not mistaken. So, but he claims Nashville, Tennessee, because that's the big city.
That's how I am. I'm from Longview, but I claim Dallas because that's the biggest
city.
So
his next fight might be Canelo.
That would be nice to see.
And the kid, and he's got a good story. For those that don't know, Caleb, from Ashland City, he had a daughter that died when I think she might have been 2.
That's tragic.
Yeah, so he's gone through some tough times, and as you mentioned already, you talked about mental illness and what did that do to Caleb? He had a battle. He had a battle through that, and then trying to battle.
I bet a lot of money on him if he fights Canelo.
Man, it's a good story.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good story, but Canelo's a monster, man.
It's
like you say, Triple G, Pretty Boy, Mayweather.
Oh man, don't get me started on Mayweather, man.
Well, the thing is that Canelo, he's tasted really good boxing. He's like you say, you live and learn type thing. Canelo has he's learned a lot through these monsters.
Yeah, man. Mayweather's a whole nother ball game now. Mayweather's a whole nother. See, when we talk about, let's just go back to fighting for example, right? When we talk about fighting compared to any other sport, fighting is almost your life's on the line every time you fight. You play football. Yeah, there's a lot of aggression to it. And some people play like Ray Lewis's. They play like their life's on the line, which is how you should play a sport, period, if you want to win. It's the only way you're going to win. But when you fight, your whole life is on the line every time you fight. So there is a level of, that's the ultimate competition. In the way I'd say, I think soccer is or football, I like saying football, I hate saying soccer, but soccer, football, I feel like that's the best, most world sport that brings us together the most. But fighting, man, it's just something about fighting. Now, boxing, see, the problem with boxing, I like the UFC's always been my go-to, just always been, because it's just more well-rounded. You're using all your body versus one
it's function. Everything. You got wrestling, you got grappling, you have striking, you got kicks.
I mean, John Jones, arguably the greatest in some people's opinion. He came from wrestling. Yeah, he started as a
Khabib.
Khabib
is a wrestling guy.
Habib. It was wrestling bears at 5. He's gonna beat anybody who comes in.
He was wrestling bears.
He was literally wrestling bears. That's insane to me, man. He just yes. Most of the successful UFC fighters, not all of them, but most of them.
Connor's got a wrestling background as well.
No, Connor's a kickboxer mostly though. He's mostly a kickboxer. See, Conor, you notice he doesn't really do well on the ground. Habib trashes everybody, but
yeah.
Poirier trashed him on the ground too. Like, it's just he's not really that way, and that's what he lost Poirier. The new fight he just did, the second fight he did with Poirier, he lost because
he lost because he
hadn't been fighting.
Because the game is not it's not forgiving.
No, it's not at all.
He
said that too.
When you step away from the game will run away from you.
You're not lying.
And on this podcast, the podcast that we released today, the mayor of baseball with Tyrone Osborne, we talk about that.
Yeah, you did. Yes.
Yeah, we talk about how the game is not forgiving. No. Game don't care about nobody. The game is going to be it. So if you step away from the game, it's going to run away. Imagine in fighting.
Yeah.
There's a heavy price to pay.
Absolutely.
And that's really what happened to Conor.
Isn't it crazy how Michael Jordan stepped away and came right back and was absolutely still dominant? Well, after he lost, to the Shaq and Penny, but still, because I'm a LeBron hater. Oh, why are you a hater of anybody? What does that make sense?
I think I'm a hater. Period.
As long as you admit it, I guess.
I'm just a professional hater.
I'm a professional supporter, man. I swear, we're like different in that regard.
Well, a splash of Adam can do me well, right?
Yeah,
we established that already.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I'm a hater. So Daniel Jr., big LeBron fan.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And I'm like, do you know Michael Jordan? He goes, I know LeBron James. So automatically, me being competitive, I was like, my era is this. And Daniel's like, but LeBron is this.
Let me educate you on something.
But that's how it started, though.
Yeah.
It's not that I woke up and I'm like, I'm gonna hate on LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're a different era. But let me tell you something like this.
And I'm competitive.
Neither one of them are the GOAT. Excuse me. Neither one of them are the GOAT. So, and I've said this many times to Daniel, and this is, I'm not gonna say this with proudly, but I'll say this confidently. I am a basketball savant, sports savant, but basketball. Definitely. Basketball, Call of Duty, I know almost more than I'm willing to bet my expertise against the top tier of the top tier in these regards. Wilt Chamberlain is by far the GOAT. And the only debate that anybody ever pulls up with me when I say this is he played against plumbers and white men. That's all they say. One, I don't like the white men. When they say that, I already know the IQ level has dropped 30 points when they say white men. That doesn't make any sense. But when they say plumbers, and I pull up Nate, you know who Nate Thurman is?
No.
Nate Thurman is one of the greatest Warrior basketball players of all time. When you get a chance, Yeah, let's watch some highlights of Nate Thurman. Nate Thurman is one of the greatest players. He was LeBron before LeBron. He used to average like 20 and 20, and he was big, swole, ripped, fast, everything. Had it all. This man was ahead of his time. Wilt was destroying him. Remember, I think how great you are is when people bend the rules, have to change rules because you're so dominant. Wilt changed over like 30 rules. You know how you have to shoot a free throw and you can't move ahead of the line? Wilt would shoot a free throw off the backboard, jump, grab it, dunk it. He used to continually do that. They had to change the rule. Wilt, the reason the 3 seconds in the paint, Wilt Chamberlain.
We're gonna have a little spin off on this podcast because I like that.
Yeah,
we need to get some people in here and debate this.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's good. You got some good stuff going.
Yeah. Well, back to the Michael Jordan LeBron debate. I think Michael Jordan is the second at the moment. Now, if LeBron wins another ring, I'd say.
Okay, second to Wilt.
Well, yeah, Wilt. Michael Jordan definitely. I'm just talking about just in terms of just as a player how great they are, how they affect the game. Michael Jordan's not touching 50
because I have a wrestling background.
Points.
And wrestling's a lot of, weight, pound for pound type thing.
In the season, podcast, in the season.
For your weight, for your size, what can you do within what God has given you?
Yes, but in basketball, being bigger is usually harder.
Well.
It is. It's usually harder.
And that's why LeBron is good, because LeBron has done some things for his size.
Yeah, he's huge. And he moves like he's a point guard.
Yeah. So my mentality of pound for pound concept, that's why I have Michael Jordan.
Some people would argue that. They would argue the bigness because there's been a lot of big greats. Like a lot of the top 10 is great. Wilt, Hakeem, Shaq, Bill Russell, Kareem. Usually the greats are big. But if you really take a look at the tendencies, especially now, being big is extremely hard.
Like Hill from Kansas City.
Hill. Oh, Tyreek Hill. Oh, yeah. He's great.
Come on now. Bro. See, when you see something small and can keep up with the bigger dudes, whether it's, with speed, toughness. I mean, because you got to bring a lot of mental toughness to the table. Yeah,
well, see, in basketball, it's a little different because a lot of people would argue that being big is actually, being tall in basketball.
Which, by the way, we're almost 30 minutes into this podcast, and we haven't even touched the Super Bowl recap.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get there. don't worry.
No, that means this is good.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
We have a good flow.
It's okay. I'm a master editor, guys. We'll get this. I promise you'll see this.
Yeah, we got good flow. That's good.
Oh, absolutely. They had, in basketball, there's a lot of people who always, I've heard this my whole life, being bigger is better, right? I was short all the way up until about 11th, 12th grade, and I hit a growth spurt. I went from being like 5'9" to
of course I'm pulling for the short guys.
6'3". Yeah, well, I've heard that my whole life, but I've always advocated that being smaller in a sport, there's limits to everything. Again, like, being 7'5" probably isn't the best thing in basketball, to be honest. I don't know anybody over 7'5".
You want to look up whatever.
Yeah. The NFL, you want to look up, let's watch the NFL stuff. But yeah, usually being bigger is usually not better. And we'll just start off with the highlights. But since we're talking about, so we're watching the Super Bowl right now. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl as we transition into this, we'll come back to these topics later. Transitioning over to football, this game right here, this Tampa Bay Kansas City game, I literally told you this was going to happen.
You did. And, because I asked
my own horn, but
well, Adam and I we had a podcast meeting Friday because we were launching the Mayor of Baseball today. Yep. So of course we're trying to make sure that everything looks good. It's ready. All the little hiccups are taken care of, and so of course naturally because we're dudes and we like sports.
Absolutely.
I was like, Adam, who do you have? And I was like, Tampa Bay, all the way.
Oh, I said Brady. There's no Tampa Bay.
He said Brady, but you know what? And we can debate that. Because I told him, I was like, well, okay, I think I'm pulling for Tampa Bay, but I think Kansas City is going to win.
I won.
Because that little phenom, Mahomes,
I won $500. Now, I don't advocate betting. I don't think it's bad. Some people are like, you shouldn't gamble, but I bet, and I won $500 yesterday. I won $520.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I won $520. I lost. I could have won more, but the spread, I had Tampa Bay by 3. That was the spread. The spread was for Kansas City, -3. I had Tampa Bay on the flip side of that because when anything's at 3, Brady's going to win.
I mean, it was domination.
Oh, it was absolutely. I've never seen. This is the first Super Bowl since the Seahawks and the Broncos, when the Seahawks absolutely smashed Manning, that I've seen somebody get dominated in the Super Bowl this bad.
But it was bad because you said Brady, and I told her, no, Tampa.
No. You're right. I'm saying I was going for it. Like, if Brady's on the team, I'm going with Brady. Yeah.
because like the line was dominating.
Oh, dude, the defensive line.
Tampa's line both sides was just dominating.
Yeah, they didn't touch Brady.
So you got a deadly combination of a super good line, both sides, and defense.
Yeah, that's what wins football games. Line of scrimmage wins every football game.
And then you put the GOAT in there somewhere?
Yeah. Somewhere. Tampa Bay, think about it. There's only there's 4 new players that actually actually play a lot that are on Tampa Bay's team. Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, AB. Those are the significant players.
So Rob was significant throughout the season?
He's not Travis. He didn't have a greatest season as Travis Kelce did on the other side.
He had the first 2 touchdowns, though, last night.
But that's what matters. See, that's what people don't get. They look at regular season stuff, but they don't see Gronk in the playoffs he's like Jerry Rice. When I have to look, me and my friend's dad, we were talking about it last night when we were arguing, but we were talking about it. He was talking about, Gronk not being the best tight end. He was saying Tony Gonzalez, which I will hear that argument. Tony Gonzalez did not have Tom Brady throwing to him. So that's a complete great argument. I will hear that. But
yeah, it is.
That's a fantastic argument. Yeah. But Gronk at the same time has performed at every level known to man. I mean, let's think about it. Tom Brady without Gronk in Super Bowls. He lost to the Giants when Gronk was hurt in 2011, 2012. Gronk was hurt in that game. When they played against the Seahawks, Gronk, I don't even think Gronk played it. I think he played. No, he did play, but Gronk was still injured in that game. Then he was gone for the Super Bowl where they played the Falcons. He didn't play in that Super Bowl, and come on, let's be honest. Like, that was just miraculous that they did it. Great comeback, but if they would have had Gronk, that probably would have never even been that situation. They probably would just outright won. 2017, when they played the Eagles, Gronk was limpy in that one, and they lost that one. Now, that one was just, offensive line obviously folded on that play. Every time Gronk plays, and he played against the Rams, Gronk is a difference maker, period. And let's not even talk about his receiving. Being a great tight end does not mean you're a great receiver. Gronk is by far the best blocker on the line, probably on that team. The whole first half of the year, before they had to bye, the line was struggling until they started running the ball through Gronk's side. Until the Super Bowl was the only time I didn't see them run it to Gronk's side when he was lined up. Gronk is a splendid blocker. Tony Gonzalez is nowhere near Gronk in terms of blocking. And that's something, a casual won't pay attention to because they don't understand. A lot of people don't watch the line of scrimmage. They think, like I said, what was the media saying? Brady versus Mahomes. And the whole time I kept saying the line of scrimmage is where it's going to be won.
And
the
line. The big boy in the trenches.
Yeah. I love the debate. I love debating GOAT stuff because it's just, it's a good time. But again, the media is misconstrued on a lot of things. The media is always misconstrued. But these big men, for example, I think
it sounds like you're a media hater.
National. When you say media, you're throwing a lot of people in there. I don't like to generalize. You know what I mean?
I like to hate, so come on now. Yeah. Let's play the game.
When you generalize, what I mean by big media, I mean the ESPNs, the Disneys, the people Disney owns, for all that, you know how that goes, man. CNNs, the Foxes, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he definitely had pressure, but the thing is that
he was running for his life.
But he still makes it happen, and that's when it's scary.
Oh, this loss is not on Patrick Mahomes at all. Yeah, man, Patrick Mahomes. Did you see him throw the ball when he was diving? He was literally diving like this.
Yeah,
and he
man,
threw the ball.
He's special for sure.
Yeah, this loss is not on him, bro. He did everything. He hit people in their face masks.
Is he special because he was a middle infielder?
Hey, I promise. I made the same case last night. See, I was watching the game with a bunch of non-sports fanatics. Only the people that understood sports or football, period, were the older heads. Everybody my age that was there, or like around my age, they were like outside not watching the game. I'm like, man, I could not imagine missing a Super Bowl, especially at a Super Bowl party.
I mean, I'm gonna admit, I was trying to watch it, but there was it was a farewell party for one of my coaches that I'm gonna miss dearly. Yeah, Colton Bush.
Yeah, man, I had to wake you up almost getting there, didn't I?
Yeah, right. So we were watching for sure, but there was a lot of stuff going on.
I watched every second until the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter, and I was like, so it's over.
So we played squares. Have you the football squares?
Yeah.
And I was supposed to win the second quarter. I mean, it was crazy how Tom Brady drove it down less than a minute.
Oh, you didn't? You got to think about it like this, man. He did that against Aaron Rodgers, or not Aaron Rodgers, but he did that against the Packers. When I seen them do that again, I specifically stated this.
I want to say it was like under a minute. It was like 56 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly.
And the dude, he cost me my
I told you
my winnings.
I'm telling you, man. I said this as it was happening. The Mahomes gave the ball. They basically gave the ball back with Tom Brady under 2 minutes. You You got to be out of your mind to give Brady the ball anytime under, I'd say, 5 minutes.
Look at that. Look at the pressure on Mahomes. And he still hit.
He's still hitting targets.
Yeah, he still hit targets.
Yes, absolutely. But again, I'm gonna state this: when you score in any half, like especially the second quarter at the end of a half, that's momentum changing. That changes everything about the game because the way you go into a half, like
it affects the mental game.
If you played a sport and you've been in the locker room at halftime, how you go into a halftime prepares the next half. And they go in there with a score, especially against the Packers, when they threw it, a bomb. That's essentially what they did when they threw it to Mike Evans, and Mike Evans got a pass interference. I was like, this is the same thing, basically. It's basically a touchdown.
Could we call Brady the quarterback killer? I mean,
I wouldn't say him personally. He doesn't kill. He doesn't play against quarterbacks. He doesn't line up against other quarterbacks.
But it's fun to say, though.
Yeah, it is. That's all the media cares about.
He killed Drew Brees.
He didn't kill them. The defensive line killed him. He went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Rodgers.
Let's not act like he didn't go to Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay had nothing. He had a great team.
We have already established that the line and the defense kills.
Not just that. He has Mike Evans to throw to. Mike Evans is a top 5 receiver. Gronk is the greatest tight end of all time, in my opinion. And he had Leonard Fournette, who at one point, when he played the Jags, was probably the best running back, second best running back in the league.
Well, let me ask you this. So mine is
he has
Gronk
a team, bro.
and Brady. Were those the same players from last year?
No. I think last year there was a lot more problems. I mean, look, they got knocked down the wild card divisional last year. Well, Brady was on that team.
You named some players.
Gronk was on that team.
Were those players?
No, he wasn't.
Were those players in the same team last year?
No, Gronk was retired last year.
Well, I'm talking about minus Gronk and Brady.
Yeah. Yes. Almost everybody.
The rest of them.
Only AB and Leonard Fournette were the only significant players.
Dude, how lucky the AB get?
I wouldn't say lucky. I think he deserved it, kind of.
Really?
Yes, because
lucky in the sense that
he had CTE. I think he had CTE.
Lucky in the sense that he almost went without ever playing football ever again.
Yeah, well,
and then this happened.
Well, if you look at AB, the reason AB got kicked out of the league, his last strike was the helmet situation. When there was more to it, but he was not one to play with a certain helmet, and I feel that way because I think AB's got a little bit of CTE, and I'm not giving him an excuse for acting the way he's acting. But there is a big concern with CTE, especially in the NFL. I definitely feel like concussions is CTE, concussion.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that. But at the same time, the Steelers have a history of just letting egos run, whereas the Patriots are completely opposite, which is why the Patriots win.
But he went to the Raiders too, though.
Yes, and when he went to the Raiders,
and was a
Gruden can't manage egos either. Managing egos is the number one thing of being a coach. Bruce Arians is a super. I'd say Bill Belichick, Bruce Arians are like super, super strict on egos. Like not just strict, but like super know how to manage them. Like, look, selfless. This is what we're going. And Brady's super selfless too. I mean, Brady didn't get paid, wasn't the highest paid player in the league until like 2-3 years ago. So these are super selfless people. He taught AB how to be selfless. AB, came up from something.
Or AB, he learned his lesson.
Well, take the story of AB. He's a fifth round draft pick. He's he's not a highly touted draft pick. I might say third. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's a super low draft pick. He works his way up to become the greatest one of the greatest receivers of all time. Not even doubtedly. He has a Super Bowl now, so nobody can say anything. One of the greatest receivers of all time. He takes it to his head. Probably struggling from a little bit of CT. Don't know for sure, but we'll just, I'll throw that out there. And I'll look it up and trying to get more educated about it. He gets there. He takes it to his head. He has a guy like Tom Brady come sit down. Bruce Arians sits him down and says, look, if you want to win championships, if you want to be, especially Brady, you listen to Brady talks, you listen. He tells you, look, this is what you got to do. I play with Moss. I play with all these players. This is what I need you to do. He listens immediately. He just needed a good role model, whereas Mike Tomlin, I don't think Mike Tomlin is somebody that you go.
I mean, does it take the GOAT to tell you that? You can't be humble on your own and be coachable.
I don't think it's possible.
Be mindful.
I don't think it's possible for human beings to be humble on their own.
Come on now.
Think about it.
He's not the only human being playing football, though.
Name a person who didn't need an experience or God, just God or experience, because God's going to humble you regardless, but God or experience to humble you. If you just win constantly and you're just great, you have nothing checking you, you're going to continue to run with it. Period.
Again, though, he wasn't the only one in those situations.
Ben Roethlisberger wasn't telling him, come on. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's a great too. He's a great quarterback, but he wasn't sitting there in his ear like, yo, humble yourself. No. He's probably not saying anything. Ben Roethlisberger's never been a vocal leader like that.
I don't know.
No,
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know for a fact. Just watching. I mean, you can just tell by the way people play the game of football. Like, Ben Roethlisberger's not on the sideline slamming his helmet when they're losing. Tom Brady is slamming his helmet when he's losing. That's a competitive man. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. That's why, he's obviously the GOAT. He cares the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is something. Moving on from AB though, when it comes to this, I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes because I'm hearing this already, and I'm getting a little disappointed. I was a big proponent of Patrick Mahomes a little bit, they're in over his head. You, for instance, let me tell you, viewers, podcast, what this man was comparing Patrick Mahomes to. You were calling him on Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino. I guess you could put him on Dan Marino's level. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning's level. He is not there.
No, I didn't say that.
You were saying he has a chance to be in the GOAT conversation. No, he doesn't.
He has a chance.
No, he has no. He
has no chance.
Not right now. Not for his career. I'm saying right now. No, absolutely not.
I mean, it's pretty impressive what he has done in his short career.
He's played like 4 years, and he's a little bit more longer than that.
And all year he has been like right there in the big show.
You're the greatness of a player, LeBron, for instance,
longevity and durability,
and how you handle the tools around you. If you have nobody that's an all-star or nobody that's a Pro Bowler on your team, and you take for instance, Brady, right, when he took Edelman and them to the Super Bowl, when he was taking people like Hogan, who they picked up.
I do agree that it's premature, but come on now.
No, dude, he's a great talent, and he has potential. I don't know about after that. He's not going to be the GOAT, but he has potential, definitely.
Hey, he's got more time.
No, he can win 10 Super Bowls. He didn't beat Brady.
We'll see.
He didn't beat Brady.
We'll see.
You can't. When you square off against another quarterback, you got to beat him.
We'll see.
Brady didn't. Nobody said that when Brady was playing Manning. That's all we talked about. I remember those debates. Brady and Manning didn't beat each other.
We talked about, is he the quarterback killer?
Well, yeah.
So I'm giving Brady some. I'm giving some props.
No, he deserves.
He deserves a lot of props.
Greatest athlete of all time.
When he making it to the Super Bowl, I was like, he's the GOAT.
Oh, man.
Like, I didn't need to see the Super Bowl for me to say he was the GOAT.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was the GOAT after he beat the Seahawks, in my opinion. Once he beat because no team had came back from 10 points down to win a Super Bowl at the time. And he did that. Then he goes on to beat the Falcons. Now granted, he got a little help in the Seahawks game because of Malcolm Butler. But in the Falcons Super Bowl, when he played them, it's right on right now. When he beats the Falcons in this game, this cemented to me he was the greatest athlete I had ever seen. Because he threw the ball the whole second half. There was no running. He didn't run the ball one time in the second half, damn near.
Yeah,
he was doing that.
When you're one dimensional and you still have success, then yeah.
Yeah, like the Chiefs were one dimensional the whole game. They could not come back against the Bucs. He was one dimensional in the second half against the Falcons. He won that.
Yeah.
Well, him and the receivers.
Mahomes he was running all. He
can't
run. He ran a marathon.
He can't run.
No, he can't.
He can't run at all. When the Giants put pressure on him, he was done. You put pressure on Brady, he can't. If we put pressure on any quarterback, they can't win. Period. They're not going to win the game. It's not happening. That's what I'm saying. This guy is not. He's built different. He's built. Look, that hit him on the hands. He drops it. It's in his hands. That's what. Like this is stuff that he's been undefeated in a regular season before. He lost because of probably the greatest catch in NFL history. That's the only reason he lost that Super Bowl against the Giants.
Oh man, like I'm such a Eli Manning hater.
I respect Eli. I don't think he's the greatest ever, but Eli's a true talent. I respect and love Eli for who he was. Absolutely.
I like his person. I just when he was in my fantasy football team.
It always starts with here you go. He was in the fantasy football league. You messed me up.
Oh man, I was like Eli, damn it.
Yeah, you that was the last person. Eli is not a regular season quarterback at all.
No.
Playoff only. He's not going to show up in a regular season. He's going to get you there, maybe, but that's it. He's not. And he always plays the same. He only played the Patriots and succeeded. He wasn't succeeding against much probably other talent. But Eli deserves much more respect on his name than people. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody got to tell me. You beat an undefeated team in the Super Bowl, you're going to the Hall of Fame, bro. He's the only one to ever do that. Yeah, he's going to the Hall of Fame. I don't care what anybody has to tell me. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Probably will never be another undefeated team in the league. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Can you believe that they were talking Steelers being undefeated? Like I knew,
bro.
That was far fetched.
The Steelers folded harder than I've seen any team fold ever.
But
they just completely folded.
Even leading to their first loss, I was like, "There's no way." Like I knew.
Yeah. No.
I knew. I was like, "There's no way."
I don't think any team. The only reason that when the Patriots were going undefeated, that I thought it was possible for them to do it is because they had Moss. And not only because of Moss, they had Brewski, they had Rodney Harrison, they had Asante Samuel at the time. Their defense, Vince Wilfork at the time, they were stacked on both sides of the ball. It wasn't just offense. Their offense was crazy, but they were stacked. So I was like, it's possible. Steelers are not stacked on the offensive side of the ball at all. Juju is not no top 5 receiver. I don't care. I'm sorry if everybody's going to say that. He's not. I can name 5 receivers better than Juju. He's not. He talks a lot. Now he's great, or he's good. He's good. He's not great. He's really, really good, and I love him. You know, I've seen him play Call of Duty and stuff like that. He's a good person, but cocky. When that cocky stuff like Juju suffers from the same thing AB was suffering from. They get a little bit of fame, get a little bit of clout, and they run with it. Yeah, that's exactly. You know what he said this offseason? He was like, I want to focus on the team that builds my brand. Dude, win a Super Bowl. You build your brand from Super Bowls, buddy. Win a championship.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald's brand's way bigger than you. Larry Fitzgerald's never won a Super Bowl. He been there though.
Yeah.
But he's humble.
Yeah.
Got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I like
gotta
that.
Get there, man. You gotta get to the Super Bowl. You ain't even been there yet. Yo, don't worry about your brand. Get to a Super Bowl. You know, play good in the Super Bowl. You know, as a receiver, you don't control how you win or lose. You know, it's like Julio, he don't get blamed for, Atlanta losing the Super Bowl. Nobody blames him. You know what I mean? You're a receiver. You can only control what you can control. So it is what it is. But I want to talk about the game. I want to talk about this. So let's move on from football, as we just had a big discussion about. I want to talk about the game within the game of gaming. You know, this is huge, what we're talking about right now.
We got a podcast coming up on, is it at the 20th?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
You still want to do that one too? We can get it now.
You want to get it out now?
Absolutely. What's the time looking like?
On what?
How long we been going?
45 minutes.
We got time. We got this. I try to stop, make sure we don't go beyond 2 hours. 3 hours is a little bit long. Unless it's like, there's a lot more people.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if we start the gaming one, we're going to probably hit 3 hours.
No.
I have notes.
Yeah, you have notes.
I have notes that will drive it.
I promise. Look, there's nothing wrong with us hitting that because I'm not being strict on schedule. But I will say that everything that you're going to ask the question for, I can pretty much answer relatively. And it's not about answering quickly, but in a reasonable fashion.
Well, the thing is to open up the forum for debates and.
Absolutely. Well, you're when you imply that
because I have issues with gaming.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, we're gonna cover this now.
And
you see what you're trying to do podcast. He's trying to deviate from it. Well, we want the challenge. We want it now.
That's what I'm saying. There's issues, and then there's also some good stuff coming out of gaming.
Oh, absolutely, it's fantastic. I love it.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I got you, man. I'm ready.
As a parent,
you're
not a parent.
No, not. I have nieces though.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So I have issues. As a coach, I have issues.
I'm a coach too, buddy.
You're a coach in the gaming world.
Yeah, but I'm still a coach.
But you're not a coach outside the gaming world.
I mean, you could say that. I mean, I technically still go coach Little League football, but I mean, that's pretty much it.
But you're not there.
No. So, I'm not on your level at all. You're right.
This guy has issues.
Give me your issues. Give me one. Give me your number one issue right now.
So as a parent, as a coach, as a physical fitness, there's a lot of issues. I have issues with gaming.
Okay. Give me the number one issue. And I feel like I know what's going to be, but give me the number one issue.
Not only that I have issues, but I want comparison. I mean, I'm as you can see, I'm trying to stay away from because I want to save it for the 20th because your birthday is 3 days after, right? The 23rd,
no,
which is also my niece's birthday.
Oh, that's wonderful,
Lynette.
Yeah. Split it up. You don't got to talk about everything today, but hit some major points. You gotta realize something that any topic, but mostly especially gaming, especially if you don't know something.
You know what? Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
You want to do this?
Don't get it over with. Look. Think about it like this. The more questions I answer, the more questions you're gonna have. It's just gonna keep growing. Because you got to remember, I will consider myself, I wouldn't say a master, but I'm proficient when it comes to gaming, anything revolving, especially competitive gaming. I'm still asking questions. I'm still watching Hex's podcast. I'm still watching Hard Points with TP and them. Some great Call of Duty players that people will know on the podcast watching me. They know for a fact I'm still watching them. You're going to grow more questions, especially somebody who, has no background in gaming almost whatsoever. You're going to have some more questions. So the ones you're going to answer, you're going to stem like 50 more from them. You know what I mean? Here, go, Sandy. I love you. I love you to death. You're such a pretty girl, but you got to go. Go. Sandy, come here. Come here, Sandy. I love this dog so much, bro. Gaming is for everybody. Everybody got a place in gaming. Everybody. Give me your number one. Like when you think of gaming, what's the number one thing you think of? Go, just off the top.
I think of.
You thought too much.
No, remember I'm chill.
I know, just
I'm chill. And you're not.
You're right. I need to learn something from you.
That's Adam. That's Adam.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's my impression of Adam.
I'm trying. I'm working on it.
No, it's good though, because you have the energy for this kind of stuff. You know, there you go.
You got some G Fuel in me. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm just chill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't kind of like. Have you seen the movie Colors?
No, I haven't. What's it about?
It's about the Bloods in the Crib back in the late '80s, early '90s.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, there's a.
Let me type that in. Let me write that down.
Hey, pull it up on this.
Yeah.
Pull it up on this big screen we have here.
All right. Anyways, we're off topic. Come on. Let me give us the first thing you think about when you think about gaming, man.
Oh well, hang on.
Our phones keep going up.
Let the old guy chill and get to things at his own speed.
It's okay, like I say, it looked like you're running. You know what I'm saying? Chat, ain't running.
Hey, there's no rush, and this little joke from Colors will kind of paint you the picture.
Okay, we're gonna see.
So you have an old cop and a young cop.
Okay.
The young cop is Adam. Yeah, young cop's like, yo, let's go bust somebody. Let's go get these.
Who's it about? Who's it by? Like, give me a name. It's just
Emilio Estevez. I think he's the actor. He's the young cop, and I forget the. I think it's David Duvall.
Let me just type in Colors movie. There we go.
David Duvall is the old cop.
Is this it? Right here. Yeah, Drive By Scene. Yeah, that's definitely it. 1988.
Colors, yeah. Oh damn, 1988.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even born yet.
Well, shoot. Yeah, let me play you. Do you know who's Ice-T?
Yes, I know who Ice-T is, man. The only reason I know who Ice-T is because of Law and Order. It's the only reason I know who he is.
Yeah, let me see.
He's a good actor in Law and Order. I love Law and Order. Get really tired of it really quickly, but I love it. My grandma used to watch it all the time. If y'all hear the dog panting, the dog is extremely. She's been going all day, man.
I know, dude. She's driving me crazy.
Oh my goodness. I think the dog is in heat. Chat. He's going through it right now. No.
Hey man, don't be telling my
they over here.
My family laundry.
Yo, let's do this.
It's Colors, baby. Colors. Yeah, back in the days, man. Me and my buddies, we thought we were thugs. We thought we were gang members.
Psychopath talking, king of my jungle, just a gangster stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse.
I'll tell you, that's one phase I never went through.
No, and good.
I never went through that.
Good. I'm sorry.
My dad was pretty strict on that though.
Good.
He didn't play that game.
Yeah.
I never sagged. I never did none of that.
Yeah, we didn't sag, but just think about the music that. And my parents were kind of clueless. It's like they didn't know we were listening to NWA, Ice-T.
I mean, I listen to heavy, hard rap. Like really, really underground rap. I listened to that my whole life, but I never really thought like.
But back in those days, that was it. There was no internet where you can be influenced by gaming, by this, by that. I mean, that was it. Music was it, and NWA when it hit hard.
Absolutely.
And I want to say it hit like a lot of athletes. Like a lot of sports.
Oh yeah, I definitely. You can see it. The Bad Boy Pistons were definitely influenced by stuff like that for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Bad Boy Pistons. You could say, Jordan. Wearing the baggy shorts. That definitely, Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was huge for that back then. A little bit after, but Allen Iverson. So exactly, what were you saying?
Back to Colors. All right, so the young cop, he was always like, "Hey, let's go over there. Let's buzz those people. Let's go get them. Let's go do this." And the old cop was like, "Oh, slow your roll, dog. Mm-hmm. Slow your roll. We'll get them. Because if you get him, we're gonna miss out on the big shot.
Yeah,
on the big daddy.
Right.
So so the young cop was constantly just kind of just like, let's do it. Let's go now. So and he's like, so he told him a joke. Mm-hmm. He's like, hold up, here, let me tell you a little joke. So the joke is there was two bulls on top of the hill. At the bottom of the hill, there was a bunch of cows. Mm-hmm. So the young bull was like, hey, let's run real quick. Let's go down there really fast and fuck one of those cows. And the old bull was like, slow your roll. What if We walk down there, take our time, and we fuck them all.
What the fuck? Okay, I get it, but I'm just like, that was the metaphor. That's what you used. Okay.
So there's like, having a bad mind of, sex, whatever. But like, so the boys, we can have them all. Let's take our time, we have them all versus let's run really quick and just do one.
What if you take one of the cows, one of the female cows, the one that the bulls prefer, and lure the bull with that cow?
Is that a process that you rush?
No.
Okay, then.
Well, I mean, you gotta be patient.
And there you go, patience. That's the key, patience.
I get you, but you could take one of the topics
so you're
and lure in the big bull, but you still got one bull.
But there's a game plan. So there's a game plan behind
but you got another bull still at the top of the hill for the next one. We get one bull, we leave the other bull for the next one.
Yeah. I mean, so you said it, though, patience. Let's chill.
Yeah.
Let's not rush into everything.
Absolutely. I don't have 40 years under my belt. It's okay.
No, but I think the gaming world does that to you, though.
What, rushing?
Like the technology, today's world, it's a short attention span, right? You want everything now world. Because you do have it. You got the phone. You were raised with the phone.
I wasn't raised with
it. I
was in the last generation before it. I was the last one before
this generation, they got everything at their fingertips because they can look it up. They can get it now. They have multiple options. They can play this game. It's... There's times where I have meetings with you, and this is so funny.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I can see me losing you. I can see, like, if I don't change up the subject and go bam 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 bam, I will lose Adam.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a flaw. I definitely have flaws in that regard.
It's all good though. It's all good though. And on the flip side, I can tend to drag things on too much.
Bro, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can talk about the same thing for like 60 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes. And 6 minutes to you?
No, 60.
Oh, you said 6 though, right?
No, that's a 60. That's 6. 6 minutes ain't long. 60 is long. No, you hit it. No, you're absolutely correct about that. And that's one thing that I've talked about multiple times on the channel.
But it's all good. You splash a little Adam, in there.
Yeah, balance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
No, I've hit this on the head multiple times, and me and my stream have said it many times. And we've discussed it. I definitely, early on in my gaming career, suffered from that. I suffered from it so much that I didn't know which game I wanted to play because there was just so many. There's so many that I want to do. I mean, it was hard to go from, it's hard to keep up with just single player games that launch imagine how many games now compared to, back in the day, launch every year that are like time consuming that you can spend time playing and doing and covering.
So CyberPunk was tough on you, huh?
Oh, CyberPunk was the hardest.
Because it took forever.
No, not only took forever. It was hard because of how much around it. The round stuff was hard. Playing the game was easy. It was
but waiting around for it to launch though.
No, I wasn't necessarily anxious for it. I was happy. I was so, because it was just it was the game. It was the game for me. I feel like the game was built for me. I still believe today that this game was built specifically for me. 100%. It's. Cyberpunk's a whole nother ballgame. We get into Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's not well received by the community. They hate it. Almost everybody that I've seen make a video on it almost hates it. Not everybody, but most people hate it. Unless you have a super rational mind, like you've played a lot of video games. The reason people hate Cyberpunk so much because it came out really buggy, really glitchy, and especially if you were on consoles.
Yes, big time.
Yeah.
So
you're educated on this. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. I got notes.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, this is going to take much longer because
whatever we don't cover, we'll cover next time, man. It's okay.
Wow.
You gotta remember, people coming to watch the game and they gotta talk about the game, man. You gotta talk about it.
Hey, man, because part of our podcast is to introduce some callers. So you don't know what I have in stuff for us.
Oh, absolutely. But we can do more episodes, man. It's okay.
Okay. So I don't have my notes in front of me, and I'm very forgetful. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have to pull them up. But because I talked to David. Mm-hmm. I've been talking to David a whole lot.
For those who don't know, David's his son.
Yeah, David's my son, and
one of my best
beautiful kid.
Yeah,
Beautiful kid.
David.
He lives in Alaska, and
I love you too, Daniel. You're a knucklehead, but I love you though. I know you're
Daniel's definitely a knucklehead. So David's very passionate, and I'm sure you had some time with David.
Oh, some. I met David before I met Daniel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm closer with David than I am Daniel.
Oh, well, shoot. Yeah. Okay, well. Cyberpunk. Yeah, so me talking to you or in our meetings, in our podcast meetings, Cyberpunk this, Cyberpunk that. So I was like, hey David, because I know David's passionate about what he plays. What do you think about Cyberpunk? The first thing he goes, man, it's so not real. Like there's bullets going into the water and it just goes in. There's no splash. Like very detail oriented.
Yeah, he's right.
Type comments. He would, and I was like, really? And Adam likes this Cyberpunk, and and I'm clueless. Remember, I'm not anti-gaming, but I have issues.
Yep.
We established that already. So David went on like that. That's why we need to call David. While we have this game.
He explained it to me already. We had a long conversation. I think 2 days ago about it. And he messaged me. He was like, "Has it got any better?"
And the transition between stories and this, just all this stuff. Where David's game is Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, I know. That's them. I put them on with Red Dead. I'm the one who gave them.
No,
the game.
You did not.
Yeah, I promise. I did.
You did not.
I didn't give them it. I promise.
You did not.
No, look.
Because I talked to David about this. One of my ex baseball players. His name is Gabriel Cornier.
I'm about to blow your mind.
David Cornier back in, man, David was in 6th grade. So whatever years that is. And you weren't even in the picture when David was in 6th grade.
No, it wasn't.
So I know it wasn't you that put Red Dead on the map for the boys.
Look, I promise you, and we'll get back to Cyberpunk. I remember Red Dead Redemption 2. I was hyping this game up.
Okay,
for
so
3 months.
So they were hooked on one, the first one.
I was too. We had all played one, right? They didn't know 2 was coming out yet. They hadn't heard nothing about it. It was 3 months. Now, Daniel mostly is what I'm saying because I was hanging out with Daniel at the time.
Okay.
But Daniel would call David and I would talk to him. And he's like, oh my goodness, there's another one coming out. And I'm like, yes, it comes out October 26th. I remember the date. Red Dead 2 is way better than Cyberpunk. I just want to put that out there. Nobody's debating that.
Okay. And that was on my notes to talk about, talk about, because, you claimed that at one point I heard, and I have a horrible memory, that
I enjoyed Cyberpunk more. Though.
Cyberpunk this. I was like, well,
I enjoyed Cyberpunk more, but objectively, Red Dead is the better game.
Yeah, okay.
But at the same time, you got to remember who's... Okay, we're going to get carried off. Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out October 26, 2018. I was preparing for Red Dead 2. Like, I had seen every leak, everything about Red Dead Redemption 2, because the first game that my dad brought home when I started playing games and making content was Red Dead 1 and Modern Warfare 2. Those were the games that put me on. I got hooked on Red Dead 1 simply because I could lasso a horse. And I got drugged down a rabbit hole playing Red Dead 1, hunting and all of that.
See, and that's a cool thing about Red Dead. I mean, the amount of, like, events that can be created from the actual, like, the game within the game concept.
Yes. Yeah, Red Dead's super that.
All the little things that could happen within the actual game.
Rockstar's super good with that. Yes, Rockstar's the people who make Red Dead. Yes. But we'll put it back again. We'll circle back Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption is super good because it's super realistic, because it has a realistic world to build off of. It's just going back in time, whereas Cyberpunk has a plan for the future. Cyberpunk doesn't know exactly what's going to happen.
So you like the idea of Cyberpunk, not so much the actual. Okay.
Yeah, the implementation of the game of Cyberpunk is absolute. Nah, they messed it all up.
Like I want to say that my circle, I don't have any viewers.
You do. Stop saying that, man.
Because this is day one.
We just proved that upstairs. You launched it, and there was another person who liked it who wasn't like anybody who we knew. So yes, you have viewers, and you're gonna have people come. The more we do this,
so explain Cyberpunk then, because there's gonna be a lot of old head.
Absolutely. So
that might follow me.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a video game based on the tabletop RPG Cyberpunk. It was called Cyberpunk 2020 at the time. This game is essentially basically like futuristic. What would happen if the world continues down a path? I call it a world without God. If God just let the world go and do whatever it wants.
Isn't Keanu Reeves on it?
Yes. Keanu Reeves is in the game as Johnny Silverhand. Johnny Silverhand is a construct. They call it a construct, but his soul was taken and put on a memory chip or a memory data. It's called I forgot what's called, chip shard. It's a shard, and he injects it to his head because he's trying to. This is spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the game yet, but he injects it into his head because he's trying to save Jackie and him, your best friend in the game, Jackie. He dies, and you're trying to like basically save the shard and inject the shard so it doesn't mess up. That's essentially what you do. And then Johnny Silverhand's on that, and he becomes your best friend or your worst enemy depending on the decisions you make in the game. All right, he became my best friend because I absolutely enjoyed Keanu Reeves. Some people hated him. That's just, we can talk about that. I talked about that in my review. If you guys want to check that out on my channel, there's a much more in-depth discussion about what happens. The problem with Cyberpunk what people have about this game is that Cyberpunk was hyped up to be the next generation of gaming. That's exactly what they marketed it as. Now, not only did they market it as that, they marketed that it was going to be an open world better than Red Dead, essentially. They didn't say that, but it was supposed to be the next generation of Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, let me compare Cyberpunk and Red Dead to you real quick. Red Dead has no massive city like Night City. The biggest city in Red Dead Redemption 2 is Saint Denis. And Saint Denis doesn't have every nook and cranny or verticality or every entrance into buildings that essentially Cyberpunk has. Cyberpunk's world that it built is way more complex than Red Dead could ever aspire to be, because Red Dead's an old Western. There weren't cities back then in the old Western like there are now, and especially in 2077. There's no way. It's not possible. All right? That's for one. Number two, the open world interactivity of Red Dead Redemption is far more complex than Cyberpunk, because of the fact that Cyberpunk has way more NPCs running around the world than Red Dead has. Red Dead has, like, every now and then you'll run into like one person on a horse or an NPC on the horse, and you'll interact with them. You can talk to everybody. You can actually have conversations with everybody in the world, which is really, really neat. I love that. All right. That's what a lot of people have a complaint. But the number one complaint that people have, and David has, I'm playing on a beefy PC, like the almost top tier. I'm playing on a 2060, which is like a step below. There's a 30s, and then there's the 20. These are graphics cards. I'm playing on that. I'm playing on a beefy PC most of the time. Or I'm playing on GeForce Now, which is ran on a beefy PC. David's playing on an Xbox One. We have a significant hardware gap where I can experience the game and he can experience the game. I'm getting the best version of the game versus he's getting literally the worst experience of the game. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I don't excuse them for putting out that shitty product onto the Xbox One and the PS4. I've never excused it. However, I am one of those who had a PS4 who knew before Cyberpunk comes out, I'm going to I literally worked my tail off to get me a better thing to play it at the experience, because I wanted to experience this game at the full level capacity. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, there's hardware limitations that the PS4 and the Xbox One cannot do, period, no matter what they do, versus what the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which it runs way better on. It still doesn't run great, but it runs way better.
So are you saying that David would have a different tune if he had a better...
Yeah. The game is significantly different. On PC, the Metacritic stuff, the last time I checked, was like an 83%. Right? That's 80. It's basically an 8 out of 10, which is what I gave the game, was an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10. On PS4 and Xbox One, it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10. That's a drastic difference. And to give a game 4 out of 5 out of 10, you got to be really, really bad. Like it wasn't even running when the game first came out. And they lied about it because they didn't send people review copies to review the game. So like before the game comes out, people review it, which is, I don't advocate that. That's why I do it after the game comes out. But I also don't get early copies either. So if you guys are wondering, on the podcast, we edited it out. We had to take a bathroom break real quick. We're about to call David. He's going to confirm what I'm saying. Watch. He's going to tell you. He's going to tell you.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Y'all doing a podcast right now?
Yes, bro. I need you right now.
Hey, David. So look, it's weird because we were doing the recap for the Super Bowl from last night, and then we transitioned into gaming, and I didn't really want to touch up on it because I was trying to save it for the 20th, but good old Adam, it's his love, so he had to get it out. So he started talking about Cyberpunk, and I was like, hold up, David says, and I introduced Red Dead Redemption, and that's kind of where we're at right now. And then you call. So weird.
Why are we even debating? We're not debating what the best video game ever is, are we?
No. Here's what we're debating, bro. One, Red Dead is not the best video game of all time. Minecraft is. You can fight me over that. But no, we're not. we're not debating Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Cyberpunk. I've said this many times that Red Dead Redemption 2 is far and away better than Cyberpunk objectively. But I had a better time playing Cyberpunk, experiencing Cyberpunk than I did with Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's where we got off on the topic.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is a difference. And to say that Minecraft is one of the best games ever is probably, there's a lot of people out there that would agree 100% with Adam there.
It's been 10 years in a row. Minecraft came out in 2009, 2010, and it's still the number one game on YouTube. Still.
Yeah.
By far.
People,
it's the best game on
Minecraft. And also, it appeals to... There's people that like shooters. There's people that like survival games. There's people that like online games. There's so many different types of genres that people like, but one genre or like one video game that like appeals to almost everybody is Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's extremely creative. There's a survival element to it, and
it's a PvP, everything, man. It's just it's every check mark Minecraft hits, everyone.
And it also, like, say you like Harry Potter, you could build freaking Hogwarts. You know what I'm saying? And then show it to the Minecraft community, and they all go nuts over stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So this is a nerd's dream come true.
Whoa. Whoa. He throwing around that nerd word, bro. Hold on now, man. This is a gamer's dream come true.
This started like I don't really want to touch up on this episode just yet because I do want to let it be. I want this to be a standalone episode. But Adam started like probing. He started probing at me with, "Hey, let's talk about this.
Well, you brought me on. You got to have gaming in here somewhere, man. You got to. You got my people are gonna come over here. The people who watch my channel are gonna come over here and they're like, "Well, you didn't talk about gaming at all. You can't. You got to get. You got to gaming in there."
It started because I told him I have multiple issues with gaming, and he was like, "What's up? What is it?"
I wanted to know just the one big one. I only asked you the big one. I just want to know the first big one, and you told me it.
I haven't even touched it.
Okay, so
because I told him, from a parent perspective, there's issues with gaming. From a coach's perspective, someone that likes to recruit and evaluate athlete. So this, just because this is a sports thing, games within the game is actually, it's more than just sports. But
gaming's a sport.
Yeah. So I used to set up an information booth for baseball and wrestling at different middle schools for the sake of not so much recruiting within the actual school, but just kind of present information booth, right? And I promise you, Adam, and I've been doing this forever. Think about how long I have been coaching my boys. Dana's 24 now. He's been playing sports since he was 4. So, like me setting up information booth in different schools for many, many years, you can see in somebody's walk that they're a good athlete just by their walk.
So Tom Brady, by his walk, was a good athlete when he came out of college, huh?
For the most part, we have outliers, right?
Yeah.
You have a working curve,
yeah,
and then you have outliers that are not on the curve, right? You remove those outliers.
Okay. Yeah, then I agree.
Okay. And I promise you, so like over the years, because of gaming, like human beings have shifted over.
Yeah.
And it's still it's a constant shift over from physical activity to the gaming world.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
And it translates on their walk, their even like in their social skills too.
Absolutely.
So you're asking me. So you're asking me what's my issue with it? That's one of them. We as coaches are losing good athletes to gaming for sure, for sure. Yeah. So that's one of my issues. And then we talk. I think I just touched up on a different issue. Their social system, their social skills. It's been diminished some.
Okay, David, I want to hear your take on this before I go. Go ahead, David.
Well, it's just that I saw a picture one day.
Hey, real quick, Dave. Real quick. Let me finish this. And as someone who is recruiting, I'm shaking hands with kids, shaking hands with parents. Even something as simple as them shaking my hand. They're soft as hell.
Yeah,
they're soft as hell, and I blame it on gaming.
You should blame it on the parents, but okay. Yeah.
True. I mean, I also said that as a parent, I have issues with gaming. So you can't always, like I fight. I try and keep my kids well balanced with gaming.
Okay, we're going off on another topic here. I want to hear what David said about the recruiting, the sports aspect first, and then we'll get into the parenting one, because that's another. It's the same topic, but it's a little off on another branch.
Well, you blame it on the parents, and I'm thinking
I don't blame it on anybody. I'm just saying that.
But parents have a lot to do with it. They have to manage their athlete, manage their child, manage their activity.
If I sat on the game for 6 hours at a time back in the day, you tell me to get up and go do something else. 6
hours. That's it.
I mean, if I was playing all day,
my issue's growing.
And there was stuff that wasn't, I had responsibilities around the house. There was sports. You made sure you as a parent did a good job of ensuring that we had balance.
There we go. See,
but David, also gaming wasn't as popular as it is now either, though. So you and I, and your brothers dodged that bullet too, kind of.
Yeah,
because it just keeps growing. It keeps growing. It's more popular. It's more acceptable, and it's out of control.
If Red Dead 2 came out back then, Dad, if Red Dead 2 came out back then, I would have took a year off of sports.
Hey, who introduced you to Red Dead?
One of my sports buddies.
Okay. Remember, hold on, David. Nah, you gonna give me this one.
Let David answer this. Who introduced you to Red Dead?
Yeah, Gabriel. Somebody I played baseball with.
Gabriel Cornier, right?
David. Yeah. When Red Dead 2 was coming out 3 months before, was I not the person who told you the second one was coming out?
Oh, okay. So Red Dead 2, yeah, Adam.
That's what I was referring to. He was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a second one coming out." I was like, "Yes,
yeah,
bro.
I'll give Adam that one."
Absolutely.
Yeah, we gotta give Adam that.
Okay.
But when I hear Red Dead, I think of Gabriel Cornier. Naturally,
and that's for a good reason, because I would have never even got into that genre probably. Mm-hmm. Like if Gabriel didn't introduce me to Red Dead and I didn't sit down and play with them at that get together, I probably would have never had an interest.
How crazy is that?
And it's like Wild West scene. You know what I'm saying?
2.5 years later, we're still talking about Red Dead against other games. That's how great that game is. We're gonna talk about Red Dead 2 until Red Dead 3 comes out, because there's no other game probably gonna beat it.
Okay, Adam, if you want to talk about a role-playing game where you assume the life of a character and you live that life in a video game, Red Dead's the best video game out.
No, because Red Dead's not an RPG, bro. Red Dead's not an RPG. It's an open world. Okay. It's an open world adventure. It's not an RPG. You play as another character. An RPG is where you play as your character and you make decisions. You don't make any really decisions in Red Dead, bro.
You make decisions. You do make decisions.
Yeah, but you don't make no cyberpunk decisions. Yeah, but you make decisions.
Don't you cut your own path, your own story, depending on the decision you make?
No, not in Red Dead Redemption 2. You only have you have certain outcomes. You're gonna get the same outcome about almost all the time. There's only about 2 or 3 different deaths that you're gonna get with Morgan. That's it. And John Marston has almost no different outcome. He's like 1 or 2. That's it. It's not an RPG. An RPG is like 4 or 5 different.
I like this story. I mean, obviously, I'm not a gamer. I'm a gamer hater, right? Mm-hmm. But I do enjoy the story. You know, David has educated me on it, so it's pretty cool. I mean, gaming's cool. I mean, you escape your real life.
Hold on. Okay, hold on, David. I hear you.
So I just touched up on another issue. Yeah. You escape your real life.
Hold on. Here we go. I wanted to touch up on this, David. I want to hear what you got to say, but give me 1 second, because David explained exactly where I was going to go with this. You know, me and David already had these conversations, so he knows exactly what's going to come.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring David on the real podcast though, on the 20th.
Oh yeah, we'll do that too then.
Hey. Mark it down, the 20th.
Yeah, we got it.
And it's going to launch 3 days later on Adam's birthday.
24th, yes, 4 days, 3, same thing.
Your birthday's on the 24th? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let me just check my schedule real quick, y'all. Okay. On the 20th.
The 20th is a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Hang on, let me confirm that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
So look. I want to get this out, because it looks YouTube. I got you gamers, man. I got y'all. Look, okay. Let me explain this to you guys. I am the exact definition of somebody who knows how to balance games. I play games almost 8 hours a day, sometimes more. I mean, 8 hours a day is little. That's like rookie numbers. 8 hours a day. I work out. I'm an athlete, and I'm not trying to pump myself up. I'm a great athlete. I know I'm a great athlete. Not trying to be brag or nothing. I put a lot of time into athlete. I read a lot, and I feel like I'm a pretty open social person, a very, very open social person, so much so that it becomes almost bad sometimes because I'm too social sometimes. All right? Let me make this very clear. I had parents, my dad, my stepfather, but my dad, I call him my dad. Oh, go ahead, David, were you saying something? Oh, okay. So basically what I'm saying here is I have the balance to be able to educate and do this. If I didn't have it, I would be practicing social or something until I can make this decision.
Well, you're probably that outlier that I'm talking about, that we have to remove from the working curve.
I know I'm an outlier. In fact, all Christians are quote unquote outliers according to God, right? All of them we have to be an outlier from the world. You're not supposed to blend in with the world. You're supposed to stand out. So I know that I'm going to be an outlier, but that's what makes it so much better. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because that I'm an outlier, because I am the standout person compared to many, many of gamers. And this is the issue reason why I started doing this channel that I'm doing now is because I'm supposed to be preaching, doing these things to make it a better place, because nobody else is going to do this. Nobody's having these conversations that we're having. Nobody's doing that. Either they're super on the outside of gaming or they're on the inside of gaming defending it too much. There's really no medium, which is what we're creating here. Let me explain like this. If you're going to be a gamer, right? If you're going to chase gaming as your dream, you need to understand that you need to get double the amount of time outside that you get inside. That's very, very crucial. I spend a day, not 24 hours, but about 12 hours a day when it's warm. Obviously, when it's too cold, I'm not going outside like that. But when it's like during the summer, I spent this year more time than I've spent outside. That's because when me, Dave, and Daniel were all playing video games at the time when it came out, I was spending too much time inside. And I realized real quick I was getting sicker, not being as healthy and being depressed more because that was a problem. So I've learned from that mistake not to do that. However, the number one problem that you said is like, so sports, for instance, right? For me, gaming created sports even better, but because I have the highest competitive drive that I've ever seen in anybody who hangs out with me. And David will confirm this. Daniel will say this. I am super competitive about every little thing, to the point where we're having a podcast. I want to win the discussion. If we say something, I want to win the discussion. And it's not a good thing all the time. Something has to go into that. Even with sports, I can only play about 2-3 hours of sports a day. Like, especially playing contact football, contact basketball. You can't play that for very, very long. Your body's going to break down super, super quick. You have to know how to manage it. Gaming gave me, when I still had a competitive drive, to go, okay, I'm playing basketball today. We may have won, or I may have played basketball. I still want to compete. So I go and take it into Call of Duty, or take it into Valorant, or take it into CSGO, and I'm still competing. That pushed my competitive drive higher, which competition we all know is only really successful. It's a successful thing that we need to have.
It's healthy. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's an absolutely thing. Another thing, right? You guys are saying, or for instance, you guys are saying playing games. When you play something like Red Dead or CyberPunk, I do not advocate playing CyberPunk and Red Dead for 8, 9, 10, 11 hours. I don't play CyberPunk in those that long. This is why it takes me a lot to review. It takes me a while to review these games, because I don't play single player games for 8, 9 hours. Maybe the first couple of days it comes out, I do. Like Red Dead 2, it took me 3 months to beat the game, because I did everything. Not only did I do everything, I played like 4 or 5 hour sessions, because I play other games.
How many days it took you to beat it?
Beat Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, you said CyberPunk.
CyberPunk, it took me, I beat CyberPunk twice. But I also did, if you're talking about like completely beating the game fully through, it took me 160 hours both times. I played those 160 hours for 2 times. That's how long it took.
It took me, I just want to say, it took me, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but it took me 5+ game playthroughs of Red Dead to finally say, like, on my 6th or 7th, I lost count literally. That I said, okay, I'm gonna do everything there is to do. I'm gonna 100% complete this game. And with being married and going to work and having a job and only playing at certain times, it took me almost 5 months.
Yeah, that's about right. It took me 2 months, 2-3 months to beat Red Dead. Mm-hmm.
It took a long time.
Yeah, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
But yeah, Adam's right, Dad. You got those people that you're seeing, those kids that walk around with their backs hunched and shit like that. Like,
oh my God, I'm glad you said that, because it's exactly that.
I thought, like,
it's exactly that.
I know what the hell. I know what you're talking about, but I saw pictures, and it's like, okay, like, it's a picture online, and I don't know how true this is, but it was like, this is what the avid gamer is going to look like in 50 years. Like, the guys that play 12 hours a day, don't go outside, and
my brother's
they
one
look
of them.
like they look like little creatures. They had
Joe Rogan. That's what Joe Rogan says.
Yeah, they had an indent in their skull from the headset being on all the time. Their skin was real pale. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had their hands looked funny.
Bro, you're right though. But see,
he's all over it, man.
He's right though, bro. You're pointing out those people, right? And they do exist, and I do not advocate that at all. That's not ever what I advocate on the channel. But you're using that, and you're generalizing gamers as that. Like Nick Merckx. Nick Merckx is the most successful probably streamer on Twitch right now.
See, like,
this man is a super fitness fanatic.
Let's back up real quick. You say you're generalizing. I'm telling you, I've been in the mix. I have, like, 10 years ago, I would walk. I'm like, man, just the athletes walk. I'm like, yeah, he needs to be with us. He needs to be, like, it was constant. Like, every 3 student walking through the halls, I was like, let's talk to him. Let's shake hands with his parents. Because, you're doing the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. Here lately, I go like every 10 minutes.
The pandemic's a big thing too, brother.
This is brand new.
Yeah.
This is
Bro,
brand new.
You got to remember the pandemic.
Come on,
boomed
this is
gaming.
brand new. Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
that's
It
brand
boomed
new
it.
though. That's within the year though.
Yeah.
So prior to this year, I have seen this trends of like me sitting in the hallways with my information booth, looking like I don't see anybody I want to talk to,
Okay, well,
and I blame it on gaming.
well, you're, when you generalize, look, it could be 99% you could be right, but there's still a 1% that aren't like that. So that's a generalization because
it just becomes harder and harder to find.
Exactly, that's still generalizing because there's still people who aren't like that, and they're worth still trying to grow and use them as role models. You know what I'm saying?
So you were asking me what's Daniel's issue. That's my personal
I got
issue.
you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well, look, I'm trying to help clear that issue
and
up.
that's just the coaching aspect, right?
Yeah.
That's not even the parent, and we kind of touched up on the parent aspect.
Yeah, again,
providing balance.
Exactly, and that's what my dad was super big on balance. My dad's a big gamer. In fact, I think my dad is absolutely like way too far gone on gaming now. Now, granted, his body is broken down on him from the military and stuff like that, so he's kind of went to gaming, leaned on it too heavy. And you know, your parents usually don't listen to nothing you say. Am I right, David? You know what I mean? But so again, like my dad was super big on, look, you can play games and that's fine as long as your grades are good. You're going outside and you're playing sports and you're staying out of trouble. I could care less if you play video games, but you're gonna have a balance with them. That was the parents' job to do growing up. Now there are grown men, you know, that sit and do the same things that you're saying who are doing that. And I do not advocate that. That is true. But as gaming grows, this is why you need people standing up for the stuff that I'm standing up for, doing what I'm doing, taking a hit. Because listen, if I only played games competitively and just covered games, I would have millions of subscribers. And I'm not trying to be cocky about that. I know that for a fact that I could do that because I know the template for making it. Clickbait, all that YouTube's, I can do that. However, I got to take the hit, and not just me, but a collective of us in the community have to take a hit because if we don't, either one, I mean, we already see how the government damn near hates gaming. They always blame gaming for shootings and stuff like that, which is absurd. But
well, you know, it's funny you said that because I was, as a parent, I like the fact that it's taking you know, kids out of the streets too.
Oh, absolutely, that's positive.
On the bad side,
we just shoot each other on GTA. It's okay.
Yeah. So you know, so I think as a parent, I mean, that is a highlight.
Oh, absolutely. Gaming has definitely decreased violent crime. 100%.
So the concept is to, you know, keep your kids busy with sports, whatever, and that'll keep them out of the streets.
Yeah, an idle mind is the devil's playground.
So gaming has done that too. It has taken, you know, kids out of the streets. You know. So.
Well, Dad, honestly, you know, as time goes on, you know, this is kind of an inevitable thing. You're starting to see, in the past 5 years at least, you're starting to see the kids walk through a school with the dad that had the PlayStation 2 when he was a teenager, and he was playing that shit all the time, and he loves video games, right? And then he ends up having a kid, and he still loves his video games like he did when he had his PlayStation 2 or whatever.
I mean, like Dana, like if
he's at home,
if Dana was to call in,
playing the game in front of his kid all day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Well, I introduced Daniel NCAA football because I used to.
Legendary.
Yeah,
it is legendary. Thank you.
Depends on which one, but yeah, you're right. It would be great.
You know, and so, you know, so I introduced that to Daniel, the whole gaming thing, you know, with NCAA football, you know, building a dynasty, building all this, you know,
recruiting players and
things like that.
The new one's not going to be that good, but go ahead.
But, you know, I'm just saying that, you know, so I guess I'm guilty of that as well.
No.
Yeah, but what are you guilty of? Because we all play video games, but we had good grades. We played sports. We were really good at sports. All the things that Adam was saying that would show that you balanced it out very well. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? Look at Devin right now. Devin loves playing his Call of Duty and stuff, but he's probably more dedicated to him being an athlete and having good grades than me and Daniel were when we were younger. But he still loves to play video games. He'll stay up real late playing for hours and hours at a time. He clearly has it all balanced. So it's really, like, you can't say that you are guilty of anything because, like, all video games has been for us is a positive outlet.
Think about it like
amongst all the other positive outlets that we have. You know what I mean?
Think about it like this, man. Out of everybody in my group, and I just even say my class, like just who I really grew up with, Malcolm Perry is probably the only one out of like this city and who I grew up with who's probably done more in sports or like going out and playing sports at a high level more than me. Now, I could be, completely, might be missing an outlier, but I'm just talking about in the city. Malcolm Perry is the only one who's reached a higher level than me, and I'm not bragging about that. I've played overseas. I played against Luka before he came into the league. We played against them, against the national team. Now, granted, we were getting our ass whooped, but I still, met Luka, met him, thank God he came to the Mavericks. It's fucking like, I can root for him, and I've seen him in real life, met him and played against him. Really nice guy, everything, about the same age. We're about the same age, everything. I've played overseas, done this, been a track star. I've done different sports, and I'm, again, I'm damn near a professional gamer. You see what I'm saying? Like,
you're an ambassador of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not, and it's not. There's levels to it. You know what I mean? It's not gaming's fault. It's not anything. You can't blame an object because that's what gaming is. It's just an object. You can't blame an object for it. You have to treat the people. It's the people behind it. And I'll go even a step further than the people, because God specifically says, don't blame people, blame their actions. And don't even blame their actions, blame the principalities and powers.
And I like that.
People working behind, there are entities working behind the scenes who are controlling narratives, controlling certain things. And, as Christian, and that's one thing about being a Christian in gaming, is I'm seeing the principalities and powers. I'm seeing the paradigms change. I'm seeing like, I'm going on gaming and I'm telling you, like, this is the evil entities behind it. Like, I just made a CyberPunk review and specifically stated a world without God and pointed out pentagrams and Baphomets, and anybody who has any idea about pentagram, Baphomets, and all this Baal worship and these pagan gods and stuff, like they were sacrificing kids to back in, thousands of years ago. They're in these video games being portrayed now. So for like in Red Dead, right? Red Dead, they want to be, David and Daniel both wanted to make Arthur Morgan this good guy, right? They always were like, man, they're an honorable, good guy. We like them.
That's a character in Red Dead, right?
Yes, Arthur Morgan's the primary character in Red Dead 2. John Marston is in Red Dead 2 as well, but it's complicated. And then Red Dead 1 is John Marston. So if you hear me say those names, that's where I get them from. But I specifically went out of my way to make my character absolutely evil, for the purpose of making the video and reviewing the game, saying, hey, like this guy is not a good guy. Don't glorify him. Even if you try to be really, really good with Arthur Morgan, he's still a shit person, period. Like he's a terrible human. He's going around killing, robbing, stealing. Like you can't justify that, period. You know what I'm saying?
If you go on these subreddits,
I just told him about Reddit. Yeah, I told him about Reddit.
This character, Arthur Morgan Dad, has fangirls, dude. Like literal, like if it doesn't get, it's almost
Simps.
Weird
Fucking
how
Simps,
much
man.
they care about this. It's very weird. It's almost, yeah.
You ever heard of a simp?
Almost,
you know what a simp is?
Yeah. They're like simps for Arthur. They're like,
what's it called? Groupies? You ever heard of a groupie, right? Yeah.
Yes.
A simp is a groupie to the max. Like
Yeah.
it's terrible, bro. It's like it's the dumbest thing. You're like, why? And especially over like inanimate objects. Like they got simps for like, one, it's weird to worship a human, period. But it's even weirder to worship an inanimate person thing you will never ever meet. Like Arthur Morgan. Yo, how you simp over a character in a video, like, Pan Am. Pan Am is cyberpunk, right? Pan Am's this girl that you can romance. Like you end up getting with her or not. It just depends on your decisions. Or Judy is another girl that you can get with. It depends on what routes and what character you build. But every time I get on CyberPunk to like check and see if they update the game or what they're doing with the game and stuff like that, you see their Twitter. The first thing I see is how fine, or how people are like, Pan Am's so fine, or look how fine Pan Am is. Look at her butt. She has a nice butt in the game, don't get me wrong. But like she's like this fine character, and I'm telling you, it's like every 5 seconds, people are like completely obsessed about this damn character. And I'm like, guys, like to me in the game,
this isn't even a real person. This is like a code with a visual attached to it. And you guys are literally like,
she's not even modeled after a real character. She doesn't look anything like her actor.
The amount of people that say, I just finished Red Dead. I never cried so much in my life. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I didn't
like,
cry. I just shed one fucking tear.
Take a step back a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
I lied.
This is like,
I shed a tear over Ghost in MW2. I did do that. Ghost
How
MW2.
many movies do you watch where you obsess over the character for weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months?
I forget the movie.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta watch it again.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, it's just really weird, man. It's just really weird.
It's just weird, bro.
That people have done this with Arthur.
You got another thing though. It gets even worse. There's this thing called e-girls. It's basically a girl who plays video games. That's what they call them. I don't know why they call them that, but that's what they call them. They call them e-girls. Now, there's good ones. Like, I'd say Valkyrie. She's a streamer for 100 Thieves. She's really, really, like, she's proper. She doesn't wear, like, slutty clothing. She doesn't wear nothing crazy, which if you do, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you wear. But She's really proper. She just plays video games. She's a really nice person. She plays it. She's good at the game. Cool. Watch her all the time. Then you got, I don't even want to give these, I'm not going to say any names, so I don't want to give them any clout. But these women will go on and they'll just have that, just their cleavage out. That's it. That's all they do. They just put the cleavage on.
Sex sells.
Yeah, of course. And they'll do that and they'll have simps. But not only, it's not the problem of them having simps and doing it. If that's what they want to do, fine, do your thing. But it's that they're protected. Like Twitch goes out of their way to protect them. You know what I'm saying? Like they go out of their way to make sure that they have a platform to do that. And that's what's really weird is that people get banned. Like Dr. Disrespect, he got banned on Twitch for nothing. For nothing. I told
I'm
you
sure
about that.
something.
No, what they banned him for is they wanted to sign Ninja and Shroud. That's like the legit thing. They wanted to sign him and they thought that the money they're gonna make from Ninja Shroud is greater than the loss they're gonna take for Dr. Disrespect. That's exactly what was going on. And Dr. Disrespect will say whatever he feels like. He doesn't hold his tongue. He doesn't do that. While Ninja and Shroud will censor their content for just to bring views in. There's nothing against Ninja and Shroud. Like I said, I've played against Ninja in Halo tournaments many times. But like I said, Ninja's been known to sit here and be like, oh, I'm not going to cuss, or I want everybody to wear masks. He's been on that I'd say that Democrat wave. He's been on that
just
stuff.
Politicalized.
Yeah, political period. But I mean, it's definitely quote unquote left wing thing. He's been a part of that. So they're willing to accept him. Whereas Dr. Disrespect's like, he's literally came out on his stream and said David Icke and stuff like that and said all of them and pronounced all of them. And they were like, nah, we can't have this. And he went to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And this is nothing new. It's just the fact that they're being protected in these brackets in gaming. And now you're seeing the really paradigms that are starting to take place. They're taking politics to gaming. Like, for instance, Call of Duty had non-binary characters this year. It's the first time Call of Duty's ever had non-binary. That's completely unacceptable. I called that out.
What?
Yeah. In Cold War, if you're playing in the single player, you can pick your gender, you make your own character, or you make a character, and as you're making it, it makes you choose your gender. It's male, female, non-binary. And I specifically put that in my YouTube video and was like, "Yo, what are y'all doing?" And this is
what does the non-binary character look like?
Nothing. There's nothing different, bro. It changes nothing in the game. But it's the principle that they put it in there, and not only did they put it in there, when they did it, when they was like doing it, remember, Black Ops Cold War is about the Cold War. Nobody in the Cold War era was considering themselves non-binary. Right. That wasn't a thing.
I'm non-binary. Anyway, President Reagan.
Yeah. Wow.
No, bro, that wasn't. If it would have been like in the future, like if they were making a game about now or in the future,
like CyberPunk.
Yeah, like in CyberPunk, right? Transgenderism, like you do a side mission where the girl is a transgender. Claire Russell, she's a racer. She's basically a transgender, and you basically, I don't like accept it because obviously I don't believe that those things.
I don't get it. I just don't get that. What triggers?
But in CyberPunk, it fits
their
world.
mindset to want to. Change.
Well, that's a different ball. In gaming, in CyberPunk, that's the world. Like people are altering their bodies, changing their bodies. So it makes sense in CyberPunk. That's the world. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give it a hit for that. But in Cold War, bro, this is in the 60s, bro. No, 60s, 70s.
No. Oh, later than
okay,
that.
Adam. I got one more question then.
What's up, buddy?
Since we're on the topic. I got one more question that I'm going to get off real quick. All right. So, what do you think about when they made Call of Duty World War II and, like, the Nazis were, like,
censored?
Black?
How about they have your woman character running around in a Nazi outfit, bro? Dude, don't even.
That's what I'm saying. Or
dude,
or even
stupid,
a female,
stupid.
or even a female with the M1 rifle storming the beaches.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
It's always been stupid, bro. Nobody ever debates that it's stupid, bro. They just want to sell. That's all they do. And it's again, bro. Activision, Bobby Kotick, and I'm gonna say this like I always say in every Call of Duty video. This is why Activision does not want me in a Call of Duty league. This has been known for years, months that I've been saying this. That's the reason why I'm not scouting, coaching vividly like out. This is the first year that I've been speaking out, like actually doing my scouts public. Yeah, this is exactly, and I'm doing it just to prove a point that I got skill and Activision's actively trying to keep me out the CDL. It's because I specifically called out Bobby Kotick. He's the CEO of Activision. Bobby Kotick has ties to Jeffrey Epstein. This is widely known. Yes, this is widely known. He's on the little phone book of Jeffrey Epstein's. This is tied in. This is the guy who runs Activision. Activision is notorious for being horrible gaming company. Like nobody likes Activision. We just Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just such a good title and such a good name with crossplay, especially that it's big. Activision is terrible, and I call them out every single year. I had a whole year worth of videos of me just Activision do this, fix this, get this done, and now they're seen as the good guy for some reason, and because they dropped the free to play battle royale that doesn't even work. But again, like I said, bro, I got you, brother. I know. I've been saying I'm not preaching against it. Like I said, I could care less if the character's male, female, non-binary.
I don't care that much either. I don't care that much either. But there are certain times where, like,
you're just like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
Well, just number one, I'm very interested in the World War II era. You know, I love video games. I wish they would make more video games.
See, but
with more.
David's thing is,
I wish they would
if it's realistic or not. Like David's issue with CyberPunk is that you shoot the water and it just goes in. There's no splash. It's not as real. So to have women running
Cyberpunk's
down,
not realistic though. So David, for even saying that, like, is like
no, but
he's that valid point. The water thing is
the effects.
No, that's bad design. That's just the developers being fucking lazy and not putting in water effects that were in San Andreas 10, 20 years ago. Like, that's basic shit. That's a problem.
Well, those kinds of things though, Adam, are they will steer me away from playing the game.
Oh, absolutely, and they should definitely steer you away from playing the game. But again, versus you playing where you just got done playing Red Dead 2 versus me playing Skyrim PS3 where it didn't even work. I've dealt with a lot of buggy games. So me playing buggy games my whole life and then playing Cyberpunk.
Hey, David, he did have a good point though. He was saying that you're still stuck on a really old platform that cannot keep up with the new design of the newer
what
games.
there is to deliver. Yeah,
it doesn't really support the technology of that game. Because you're still on Xbox or whatever.
It's pretty sad. It's time for me to put away the old Xbox.
But you can't get one because the PS5 and Xbox Series X aren't available to get them. So he can't get one if he wanted to.
Why?
Because there's a shortage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not making enough. AMD chips are like at a shortage right now.
Damn it, is it damn it COVID or,
it's not
or is it damn it gaming?
COVID's a good point, but it's just, again, this is what happens when you underestimate the value of a product and you don't produce enough, and they also want to drive the price up. Like, it's everybody knows they're trying to drive
it's probably
the price
calculated.
Yeah, this is 100% calculated. You mean to tell me you can't find no AMD? AMD's been made in almost all these products with PCs. Yeah, it's calculated, of course. You know what I mean? They're trying to drive the price. Switch is the same thing. I mean, it's just as the pandemic hit, more people wanted a game. You know, the product or the supply versus demand wasn't there. It just is what it is.
Hey, David, you gotta let us go. I got one more question.
Yeah, I am going to get off the phone.
Can you give us another 10 minutes to 20 minutes to 30 minutes? Just play. No, so you obviously think Red Dead is the number one game, and you.
Okay, so
Red Dead 2.
Adam, and I'm not saying that
where does GTA stands?
GTA 5 is nowhere near any one of them.
I mean,
GTA Online's fun.
But GTA period. I mean,
San Andreas is legendary.
GTA kind of like what Star Wars did for movies back in the 70s.
Yeah, GTA definitely.
GTA probably, it was a game changer for the gaming world.
San Andreas completely changed open world gaming. Completely shifted it.
So you don't think that carries value?
Oh, it does. But GTA 5 is not San Andreas.
Kind of like Tom Brady, the GOAT. So what is the GOAT? What game is the GOAT?
The greatest, Minecraft. Minecraft is the greatest game of all time. It constantly updates. It constantly changes. It constantly gets better. It's never gotten worse. And this summer it's going to get even better with the cave update. Like, it's phenomenal. But David, go ahead, man. I want to hear what you got to say about GTA, brother.
Oh, yeah. Well, GTA was really, really good, by the way. And
it was a game changer.
GTA is very important. For me, GTA is important because
more important than Minecraft
are very important. I don't really want to get into Minecraft. I never really played Minecraft, but I still agree with Adam that it's the most popular game ever.
So popular doesn't translate to the greatest, to the GOAT.
Well,
just because it's popular.
There's a reason it's so popular. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be popular right now. Fucking 200 years after it came out, if it wasn't one of the best games that ever came out. I mean, that game came out when Brody was to your waist in height, and it's still a game that he gets on and plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many games have that? What's it called?
Yeah,
how many games
did
that impact on the people who play it? You know what I mean?
Think about it like this: what game has an infinite world? The world is literally infinite. You can run off in a direction and it will never end. That's already enough replayability. It just continues and it generates new things all the time. Like, as soon as you run off, it generates a new structure.
Does it have AI?
Yes.
It must.
Yep.
It has
yeah, NPCs. They're not really great, but I mean, they're better than CyberPunks.
Yeah. But to have like that artificial intelligence where it makes adjustments on the go. I guess I'm not a gamer.
The world in general, it's called a generated world, a generated preceded world. Basically, what happens is you have chunks. So you have, depending on how great your PC, Xbox, whatever you're playing on, it generates a world, and then when you run off in a direction, it generates more world. So it'll generate and generate and generate.
Crazy.
Yes, and so it'll generate new structures depending on where you go. So like you'll start off and you may not have a certain structure or a certain villages, and you run off in a direction, and the village will be generated depending on where you go, depending on the environment. Yeah, it's incredibly complex. But what makes Minecraft great isn't vanilla. It's the mods. It's like what you can do with Minecraft. Like there's Minecraft, and then there's like mods of Minecraft where they add more creatures, more stories. Like he said, the Hogwarts thing, there's a Lord of the Rings world. I'm not even joking, where you can literally take a real life journey, like a step-by-step journey through the world of Lord of the Rings, like the whole thing of Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth is what it's called, and walk through it. It is splendid. These people have been working on it for 10 years. They started in like 2011. They just now got like most of it finished. They've been working on that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes, like these are incredible Minecraft, yes, and then Battle Royale. So what David knows what I'm talking about, but Battle Royale basically started in Minecraft. I wouldn't say it started, but it was huge. Hunger Games and Minecraft.
I remember when Hunger Games came out for Minecraft.
And then that's when Battle Royale started skyrocketing, was right after Hunger Games.
Yep.
Minecraft sets trends. It never that's what makes a game so great, is it sets trends, it doesn't follow.
Hey, remember I told you I was a professional hater? I'm hating on Minecraft already. I never played it. Never played it before, but I'm like,
Okay, but you are in the Red Dead, so I want to talk about Red Dead real quick before I get off the phone.
What's your goal though? What's your personal goal? What game is the goal?
The subjective goal. Okay, that's a different story.
Oh man,
my subjective goal's Red Dead.
I will say. We don't have, I'm not going to defend it too much. There's not too much thought into it, but the video games that I remember looking at and going, whoa, I want to play that. And then not only that, but it relates to what it like set a foundation for what kind of games I like to play. Halo Combat Evolved.
Bro, I love you so much, bro. This is why we're best friends, bro. This is why we're best friends.
I forgot about Halo.
I swear, this is why I love David. Yeah, bro, he's right.
See, and I was a hater of Halo because I was a Vegas 6, Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six Vegas. Yeah, I love that game too.
Yeah, and I was like, how can you guys not get into this game, but you get into Halo?
I used to love. I used to say the same thing.
And it used to piss me off because Halo was so like generic looking, cartoonish.
What? Halo 3 graphics still stand up to this day.
I'm talking about Halo. I'm talking about Halo though. Halo
3.
We're talking about the very first Halo. Yeah.
Halo Combat Evolved graphics are good.
And the characters were jumping and they didn't look athletic.
The Spartans are like way more.
And I was like, those ugly, unathletic things can kill me. Seriously. So I had an issue with that.
Check it out.
Wait, Rainbow Six Vegas, you can hide, you can roll, you can
different. That's just game design.
You were more athletic in your kills and in your activity, and that to me was
shout out to Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is the only game where you are literally like how you look is how you perform. In Titanfall 2, your character is like looks like how Halo looks.
I couldn't get into that.
Yeah, Titanfall 2. No, let me tell you, Titanfall series is the most underappreciated. That's why my channel has grown so much. It's because of Titanfall. Titanfall 1 and 2, people are clamoring for Titanfall 3. If Titanfall 3 dropped right now, it would be the #1 FPS in the market. Period. Titanfall is like a bunch of mechs, a bunch of robots, and you're like this super fast, jumpy pilot, and you're like wall running, you're jumping, you're stimming. Yeah, bro, it's ridiculous.
It sounds like an Atom.
Oh yeah, it's for junkies, it's for speed junkies, bro. That's why it's not getting made, because people can't handle the speed junkie. The developers felt like people couldn't handle it.
So you said Halo, David?
Yes, but okay, I want to talk. I'm still talking about Red Dead here. Okay, the reason Red Dead is the reason they were able to make Red Dead the way they were is because of the GTAs. I remember you were trying to ask me like, what do I think about GTA? So yeah. What GTA did was, number one, they were really top notch at making these open world games. You know what I'm saying? Like ones that you could really immerse yourself in and get lost exploring these worlds. You know, so GTA San Andreas.
Oh snap! So
being
so see,
extremely. I remember it being extremely popular.
was
okay?
Zelda the first open world game?
No, bro. There was many open world games before
like-
Zelda. It's just, bro. Saying the first one, I don't know what the hell the first one was. I just know the first popular one was probably Zelda.
Yeah,
The one that blew up was probably Zelda. Yeah.
like so. It sounds like Zelda was like the introduction to like.
Zelda to this day is still like great. Breath of the Wild, yeah. Zelda gets better with age. Zelda's like wine. Breath of the Wild, yeah. We're not even talking about Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is fantastic.
Man.
All right, but check it out. So GTA San Andreas specifically, I remember a lot of people back in the day that didn't play GTA went and bought GTA San Andreas to experience it. Okay, I think that really put GTA on the map.
Yeah, San
A
Andreas
few more
changed it.
GTAs come out.
What year was that?
GTA 4
4 or
was
5.
like GTA 4 was like that next jump in graphics and whatnot. I would say that made people go, "What the fuck, man? This is crazy." Look what they're doing.
We're missing one though. Look, this is another thing I told him.
Check it out. I'm just trying to make one point.
Oh, go ahead.
Then GTA 5 came out, and then with the online and all that, they created like an unlimited amount of revenue for this company, to where that they could have said, "Okay, we have GTA 5 out. We're making billions off this game. We don't have to make another game anymore." You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have. If we don't put out a game this year, we're gonna go bankrupt type shit. That's not an option for them anymore. They have so much money because of that game. They're gonna pay their employees to take so much time on their video game.
Yeah,
they are never going to be in a rush. Like a big issue with CyberPunk, they rush to get it out.
Yeah,
they're never going
Adam
to rush making a video game.
They had to.
That's why Red Dead 2 came out, and they were able to delay it. People really weren't going to question what Rockstar said because they know these motherfuckers make the best video games. Like they put out the best product that they could make.
Yeah, Rockstar's by far the best developer in the game industry. Like, it's not even close.
GTA's, for me, this was special. GTA's came out, gave them the money that they needed to not rush Red Dead 2, therefore delivering one of the greatest video game experiences that I've ever experienced.
And GTA 6 isn't going to be rushed, and it's going to be one of the greatest games probably because they
and no one's questioning when that game's going to come out.
So
look, they know that it's going to be mind blowing.
He is hitting it on the money. One, GTA before 5 came out had already had like 4 or 5 games. So they had GTA Vice City. Vice City is what changed almost everything in GTA. It was Vice City and San Andreas. Vice City, San Andreas changed everything. Then 4 came out. Splendid. Crazy good game. Then 5 came out. 5 was worse than 4 in terms of single player. Like 5 single player isn't I'd say astonishing. It's not great. It's good. Really, really, really good. It's not like trend setting. Then the online for GTA 5 came out. That's what made GTA 5 so crazy. Now, again, Rockstar doesn't just make GTA. They make Bully, LA Noire, Red Dead. Like, they have splendid games because they are really, really, they care about their games.
Is that the best company?
Yeah, Rockstar, for sure. And they've never had microtransactions in single player. Like, a big thing in gaming that sucks is microtransactions if they're not handled properly. Rockstar's never handled, other than their online, in single player, there's never been, like in Red Dead, there's no microtransactions really for the single player.
What is that?
Microtransactions are like, so if you have a coat, right? Like if your character has a coat, you go buy the coat. Now, some games, so like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right? Which I love Assassin's Creed up until Valhalla. I didn't play Valhalla like that. I don't like Valhalla. But Assassin's Creed made it to where the game's extremely grindy, but you can buy like these things called time savers, where they like, there's certain materials that you have to collect to make your character better, and there's a certain time limit to do it. And it kind of makes the game grindy and boring. Like you do all these side missions and you go through like like one side mission will be like the other one. You know, that's one thing I love about CyberPunk, and I will stand and say this to the day I die, is that CyberPunk, I never felt like the side missions, other than like a few, like those just were terribly designed. But like other than the Delamine side missions, for those who know what I'm talking about, but the Delamine side missions and the boxing, which the boxing just the fucking combat in boxing sucks. But the side missions always felt like I was doing something new, like I was learning new characters. Yeah. Like the story was good. That's one thing CyberPunk nails is story. Period. Everything
what you're saying is like with the microtransactions, as opposed to Adam sitting down and doing what he wants to do in the video game because he wants to make his character better. He's doing what the developers are essentially laying out for him to do, and then they're saying, "Oh, if this is too much for you, and you want to get back to what you want to do, just buy this shit."
Yeah, exactly. That's greed. It's greed. It's like it just reeks of greed. Yeah. Smells like a pile of shit in the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going way too. Hey, aren't we supposed to be talking about something else, and then we actually do a gaming podcast like in a week or two?
No. I have other questions for.
Yeah. We're not even touching upon it.
It's and I like this.
I'm gonna get off.
Okay, baby, love you. It was good talking
Love
to
you,
you.
brother. Be easy.
Love you guys.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
All right, bye.
That was a good treat. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. It was fantastic. He really, without David, this would have went down.
It's funny that David
correlated everything I wanted him to do.
Yeah, David was on the baseball game that we released today. That was funny. Do you remember when he got on?
Yeah, I edited it, man. I know.
Yeah, I was like,
I probably watched it more times than you did.
I was like, stop cussing. I was like, oh, and the thing is like, hey, David, you're live. You're on a podcast. Don't cuss. And
bro, that's gonna happen.
like 30 seconds later, F this, F that. I was like, David.
That was hilarious. He had me crying when he was doing that. No, look, you're the reasons you brought up, and we'll cover it more. Again, this is the drawing. So if you guys want to see more of this, go to the next episode.
No, it's gonna be good because I'm gonna cover like health and safety, and not to get all an old head, and but
no, these are good. These are absolutely health is wealth, buddy. Health is wealth.
The whole balance aspect that we talked about, and and really the competitive edge. Is it truly like real sports? Can you be as competitive as real sport? And we'll cover a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, just to brush up on it, that's all I'm going to say about that. Because again, we'll save that the competitive stuff, and how all the really, really tight stuff that you want to know about for some stuff that we're working on. We got some good stuff. But the competitive aspect, no, you're not. You're right. This is not like football. It's not like basketball. It's not like baseball. Because you're not in baseball. Usually, you're not fighting against the game. Mostly, like in any sport, you're not really you have a control over the game to a certain extent. Like you're throwing the ball, you're doing stuff. In Call of Duty, Valorant, anything, you're fighting against servers, lag, latency. Anything can go almost wrong in a video game that you can't control. You know what I mean? The number one thing in gaming that keeps people winning, that will make you win, is composure. Who doesn't lose their composure first? And I'm terrible at it. That's why I don't compete anymore. I lose my composure very quick when the game lags. Like if I'm in a $100,000 tournament. $100,000 tournament, and I'm in a 1v1 situation, and my game stutters, oh yeah, you might as well chalk the monitor. The monitor's gone. I'm throwing that monitor. I've gotten way better at raging than I had, but oh man, I think last year I broke like 32 controllers in 1 year.
It's funny that you're saying that because sometimes I hear Devin or James banging on something, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was just like, man. Yo, it can't be that serious, yo.
Control
yourself.
I'm not joking. Like I have rage. I made a rage taj, and one of my favorite YouTubers, and people know who I'm talking about. His name is Jev. I love Jev, man. He's a good person. I just absolutely love Jev. Jev is known to rage. He is a rager. I mean, like, bro, raging is healthy for the gaming industry. Period. Now, breaking stuff isn't, but
there you go, breaking stuff.
Breaking stuff,
especially if you don't buy it.
Yeah, I'm about to say. But I mean, like I said, bro, if you're grown, you got money for it, you can break whatever the hell you want. I replaced. Yeah. It wasn't cool when I was younger because I wasn't replacing them. But when I got older, I was breaking it. I started breaking stuff more because I could replace it. So I just
you know what's funny? David, not David. I call Devin David all the time for whatever reason. Devin was like, "Hey, Dad, you gonna take me to Best Buy?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, we can go hang out." And I saw that he bought a remote controller, so. Putting it together now, I think he had a raging moment.
It sucks that he knows you.
And I didn't put it together until now, until right now that we're talking.
No, it's bad. Huh. It's even worse because Devin watches my YouTube channel. I know for a fact he does. He tells me all the time. He's like, and now that you're saying that, and I'm like, oh, I should, now he's probably like, because I've always said,
But he bought it. I didn't buy this remote, so. I think that's why.
I know I'm a terrible influence when it comes to raging, but I'm not here to be an influence against like that. So I mean,
it's fun that you brought that up and all that.
Other than little like bro, rage. Like I said, man, raging. I'm telling you, the amount of stuff that you can get mad over in a video game. For example, I've watched people play Dark Souls. I would never play Dark Souls. Dark Souls is the hardest game. They're known as some of the hardest games. They're only there to piss you off. That's what its primary goal is to test your. The only way you're beating Dark Souls is by patience. You're not going to beat Dark Souls if you don't have patience, right? So I'll watch people play Dark Souls because it's funny to watch them get mad. But me playing Dark Souls, no, there's no way. Because I know for a fact that just the amount of levels, the amount of stuff, like you can spend like 3 hours grinding souls is what they call them. You gather souls to go do other things. You get souls and you will lose them so quickly. It's so hard to get them and so easy to lose them that I just know for a fact I will lose my brain. Like I will lose my mind playing a game like this. And for instance, it's like raging in a video game is sometimes you just can't, like, bro, I'm telling you, Shroud is the most composed player I've ever seen play video games. And even he loses his mind sometimes. I mean, it's just an inevitable part. It's like Brady getting mad on the football. It's inevitable. Like, you know, as Thanos says, I'm inevitable. It's an inevitable thing that you just have to chalk it up. But the older you get, like even Jev has been doing it lately. He's like, look, I just don't have the time or don't even feel like raging at something over and over again. And I haven't broken anything, knock on wood, in like 3-4 months, which is, that's astounding for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I told you, I broke 32 controllers last year alone. So, I mean, that was just Warzone probably. Like, shit, man, I break controllers like it's nothing.
Oh, wow.
I know, yeah. I had super bad, I mean, everybody who knows me knows I have damn near anger management. I just now started getting it under control, like probably around the time, Valorant's the last game that I get mad at. I don't get mad at any other game but Valorant right now.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a training session on OMG when we launch OMG, and we're not going to say what it is, because it's our secret. But that'd be a good little.
Absolutely, yeah. You definitely need to teach that. See, I didn't have nobody teaching me like it was right or wrong to do it, but you know, it just took a lot of learning for me, and it also because I started making my own money. So when I started making my own money, I realized, I'm tired of spending money on controllers all the time. Or I'm tired of getting this all the time or something like that. I started to really value. And then I started getting better equipment. Like I started getting monitors and not just like, $40 TVs. So I started getting better equipment. I was like, I don't want to replace a $300 monitor. Or, it's not something I want to do every 5 seconds.
Hit them in the pocket.
Yeah, even when I get, some stuff for free, like I get some controllers and monitors or keyboards for free, I still don't want to like go through the process of like asking for, going to a sponsor or going somewhere and asking for it. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's funny though that the sponsors know, that this is what you do.
Sometimes sponsors sponsor you to break it.
Yeah,
I've had that happen before. Where they test the durability of it.
Yeah,
I just hop on Valorant, get mad, break it. Absolutely. So I absolutely had a blast playing, but now it's content from my YouTube needs to happen because I definitely had to make a video and I have not ate today. So that definitely needs to happen. What are we on? What are we at?
Man, we're at 2 hours and 4 minutes.
What did I tell you? I told you it was going to take 2 hours, man. 2 hours is all it was going to take, man.
Good.
It easily could have went longer, but I got to eat.
No, this is good. Thank you for coming over. Thank you
Absolutely.
for the launch. The launch of Games Within the Game was great. Once we get off here, I'm going to go ahead and spread the word. So
yeah, same. I'm going to get it, like I said, I'll head to the crib, get the Spotify for everybody who listens to everything on Spotify. I'm going to get all of that worked up. I'm not the only man behind the scenes. Shout out to my boys, man. Phoenix, Pyro, all y'all working, helping me out. Shout out to my boys, man. They go underrated. They're very underrated people. They're not appreciated enough in the gaming community. They also don't make a lot of content like I do, so they don't put themselves out there like that. But I love them to death. Lotus, everybody in Lotus, Empire, everybody who I work with. You guys know who you are. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to work on this podcast. I'll be through and through in this podcast. I'm dedicated to this podcast. It's gonna be here. This will also be where my podcasts are at and stuff like that. Look, Sandy, you want to shout out to Sandy? Yeah, she said, "Oh, you get everybody love from me."
Yeah, hey, and thank you for bringing your crew onto the Games Within the Game.
Absolutely, you know what I mean.
Salud, thank you.
Salud. I gotta reach it. There you go.
All right, people. Peace out.
Much love. Bless up. God bless. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
All right. Salud.
Salud.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in with the Games Within the Game. Please visit our website, thegameswithinthegames.com, for current and future podcasts. Thank you. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thumbs up, baby.